Let me just have a quick sock and then I'll be...
Hang on, that's going
That's
in the
going.
pre-cut.
Oh, have you got a recorder on?
Of course
You've
I
got
have.
the recorder on. No. It's going out for a quick sock. Well, it is Birmingham, isn't it? It's Birmingham, isn't it?
Good.
Right.
Good.
Okay, are we all otherwise good?
Okay. And 3, 2, 1.
Bullcrap is blooming great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 20 of Brum Crack.
Bit late, Mark. You got to wake them up.
And tonight we're also celebrating the almost first anniversary of our first podcast on the 6th of October last year. So we're nearly a year old.
And they said we wouldn't last.
And they said we wouldn't last. Those doubting spouses of ours.
Mostly female, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, over the last few episodes, you've been hearing a lot of artificial intelligence generated music, and I'm very pleased to say that tonight we have music generated by some genuine intelligence. We have as our great guest Mr. Jon Sandilands, who's going to give us some of his own tracks tonight.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Nice to be here.
So Jon is one of the performers that puts the crack in Brum. He's a scion of the local music scene, and we're extremely lucky to have him on tonight. So, Jon, I'd be very grateful if you just tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I know I've been listening to you playing this evening. I know you've been playing for a long time. You've been writing your own music for a long time. But tell us a bit about yourself and a bit about the Birmingham musical scene.
Gosh. So music, basically I started at a very early age and this don't start you two. I was a choir boy at Birmingham Cathedral and then got headhunted and went to Worcester Cathedral. Thank you, Jon. So I was a chorister there for 5 years, and great experience for both listening, performing in front of lots of people. And then something happened at around the age of 14 or 15 when my voice broke. I discovered the electric dome stars.
Was it the subject of litigation?
I've got no chance, have I? At about 14 or 15, one of the lads in my boarding school had an electric guitar, and I fell in love with the guitar, and from then onwards it was always going to be rock and roll. So the choir thing left me a little bit, and then from then onwards I've been playing with bands on and off since then. And then more recently, after the very sad demise of my marriage of 20 years, I was able to go out and do quite a lot more music with the freedom that gives me. And since then, I've been writing with people, I've been performing, currently in about 6 different bands and 2 duos. So it's very exciting times for me. At the tail end, the twilight of my musical career. I wish I'd started a little early, really, but I'm making the most of it now. Mm-hmm. So, and I run a local open mic, which is great, which is part of the reason I met Mr. Madden here.
Who? Oh, you mean Mike?
No, he met Mike.
Oh, you met Jon, who introduced his...
John.
That's right, John.
I've yet to meet Mike. I'm looking forward to that. I've heard Mike's music.
He's the Banksy.
You've seen Mike,
He's the Banksy of the local
Everyone
music
thinks
scene.
They know who he is, but no one's ever seen him.
That's not true. He's performed several times, but he was in disguise, obviously. But more recently, I've been writing with a good friend of mine, Izzy Sparks, and
which, by the way, is the coolest name in the world.
Izzy Sparks. She's as cool as the name suggests. She's an amazing woman.
Well, we got to get
an
her
amazing
on
voice. And so we're writing an album currently. So I'm back on the writing scene. I've got a couple of my own that I've had on the works for quite a while. I like collaborating, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. Rather than a complete solo writer, I do work better when I'm writing with other people, for sure. So yes, it's all good for the moment. I'm just absolutely loving my music. It's great stuff.
And we've heard a little. We've only heard probably a tiny bit of one of these songs, and it's already brilliant.
Well, I've heard Jon
wow.
play before, and I'm sort of completely blown away.
No, that's great. We're really pleased. By the way, we're really pleased you came on.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
I'm very grateful for that. Good. So, well, we're going to get you to play something soon, but as mentioned and as you've heard on previous episodes, we've been playing a bit of AI generated music, and we'd like to talk about this in a little bit more detail. But have you sort of had any experience of any of your fellow genuine musicians had any experience of it? Has there been much discussion amongst you about it?
We have talked about it. A few people have talked about it. In fact, you guys and the work that you've done in particular, Mark, has got me talking. And I was talking with some of the band members the other day about it. They just sneered, unfortunately, as musicians probably would, because they're probably scared for their jobs, if I'm honest. But from a personal point of view, I think the standard is extraordinary. The quality of production and
Are you talking about in particular all the tracks? Because you've been listening to our episodes. Yeah. I mean, I generally act as a foil and just sit here going, oh, God, it's so good. It shouldn't be that good.
Yeah.
Isn't the production and the quality... And I'm sorry, rather than me saying it like that way, are you finding... What's your take on it when you hear it?
The reality is extraordinary. The quality of the... I always listen to the voice. The voice is the giveaway for me. It was in AI, but the voice has just improved just in the last year.
It always had a kind of vocodery feel, just on the edge, didn't it? But even now, you can hear... I mean, we've discussed it when we've listened. You can sometimes hear a touch of it, but 1% to... it's really rare now.
And we discussed before the podcast started... If you listen to quite a lot of modern music now, there's so much post-production on the voice that it's difficult to tell now because they're using all different methods,
they're using
auto-tune, all these things.
Yeah,
sure, exactly. So it is extraordinary. It's difficult to know whether these songs will last. I mean, the beauty of natural music, if you look at it that way, is that some of these songs are going to last for a long time. Whether something is produced that you would then be able to sing along to and keep singing along to, that's going to be the real test for me.
Yeah.
Because you can listen to it and go, wow, it's amazing.
But I've heard Mark's. I mean, Mark's released an album, verified artist album. So the band he created are verified artists on Spotify with, by the way, better pictures and everything else than most people I know. Yeah. And I've heard their songs, and there's no question at all, for me, that barrier's passed. There's the barrier where you can go, this one will last 30 years. But, how many actual artists, even... the artists we love, Bowie, probably 5 songs that we go, oh yeah, they last. Yeah. And then probably another 10 that are superb, right? So even they can only produce 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in their careers that are, stand out and nothing can go near them. And maybe 15, that's not really my point. Mm-hmm. But the sing-along stuff and his country music sing-alongs, I think
I have those melodies running through my head.
Really? Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we've started, Izzy and I started writing some more, certainly country blues, and it's not difficult to reproduce that sound.
No, that's true.
Because generally the chords are pretty similar, the grooves are pretty similar, a bit like writing blues in a way. There's only a certain amount of things you can do. Yeah. So that's why I would be fascinated to hear what it does with jazz. I'd be really interested to hear that because that's more complex.
Well, I have played a sort of couple of jazz funk songs. I have got one that I want to play tonight. Yeah.
I'm going to call time because I want to hear a song from
Jon.
I know we'll come back to it, but I want to hear a song from Jon.
I was literally just going to move on to that now. So what I was going to say is that I have listened to, since I've been doing this, probably predominantly music I've generated. And I would say the hit rate of stuff that I generate to stuff that I will keep and work on and then tweak and maybe talk about what I do with that a bit later. Is probably somewhere in the region of 10%. So there's a load of shit, but when it hits you, by golly, it hits you.
Well, it's interesting you say that because at the moment I'm producing a lot of ideas with Izzy, and I'll tend to record a riff, if you like, a sequence of chords, and I'll send it over. Now, I would say probably 8 out of 10, she'll go, yeah, it's all right, doesn't do anything for me. And then there'll be 2 or 3, well, she'll just go, oh, we've got it. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So it's a similar process.
Well, this is what I was, we've had this conversation to some extent before, is that what you bring, what everybody ultimately brings to music, however it's produced, is your own aesthetic. You produce what you like. cannot try and second guess what someone else will like.
No.
There is very formulaic music out there which people will churn out. But if you're really putting your heart and soul into it, you're putting something forward that expresses you and therefore what you like. Yeah. But the process of ultimately getting to that there's a parallel there. Much less skill, but you're still ultimately bringing your own aesthetic. I think you musos have all had to work much harder for it, and at the end of the day, what you produce will attract much more credit than anything I will ever do. But I'm having a lot of fun out of it. It really does give rein to something creative inside me. And one thing I said, I was looking at Reddit posts, and the surprising number of people who were saying that how much being able to sort of put their own story into music had helped their mental health. Yeah. Having no musical talent or whatever, but being able to write their own lyrics or their poem or something like that, put it into music had been and we all know how powerful music is. We don't,
I guess having
this conversation shows it.
I guess the issue is that the finished product, I'm stunned by the quality of it. But I think that the jumping over the producing it, being a musician, I think there is a split. I don't believe that AI-generated music is created by musicians. I think it's created by creatives using AI with prompts. But I think musicians are still the people that put the time in.
No, I'm not going to disagree with you at all.
But I agree. The interesting thing from a consumer point of view,
who cares?
The real one, does it matter? And that's horrific for musicians, isn't it? If it doesn't matter, what's your take?
Well, yes, I was going to answer. We'll go through what you were saying earlier on. But see, for me, and I appreciate what it does for you, Mark. I think it's fabulous that you're able to express yourself now. You're given that vehicle.
Musically.
However, for me, the biggest thing is being able to collaborate with another musician to produce something new. So you're collaborating with the AI to do the same thing, but so I have another singer I work with, Amy, and she can't play an instrument at all. So she has no way of being able to produce the music. She'll send a voice note of a melody. Yeah. I'll then work the chords out, and then when we get together, we produce a song. And there is something joyful about that process, which I think I would miss. Yeah. But I'm lucky to be able to do that.
Absolutely. I can't.
And it's taken you a lifetime in a way to build up the contacts, the people, the love of music,
and the knowledge
to be able to, and the knowledge to be able to do that. Mark probably at his age, he can probably never compress what you've done over such a long time into a way to practically be able to do that.
But it's interesting that those that produce, for instance, EDM on computers and so on, don't really call themselves musicians. They call themselves music producers. Yeah. And I think because what I'm doing now is sort of stepping away from just simply producing a track that's been generated to splitting it into stems and remixing it and doing it and so on. And instead of
which adds more and more creative input.
But instead of a music producer using samples and so on, buying sample packs and synth presets and all that sort of stuff, I'm taking the stuff that AI generates and turning it into the samples and then playing with it from there. Yeah. Anyway, so
let's have some real music.
Let's have some real music. And one of the things I have noticed though when I have gone back is there's some tracks that I just don't think when I hear them played, I don't think AI would ever produce. So let's see. There was a crowded house. There was a crowded house track I heard the other day, and I thought, no, I don't think AI would do that.
I hear, from having listened to all the ones you've done and put on here, I hear a lot of, especially crowded house where it's a very clear sound. I'm not at all sure, because if you think about it, at the moment you put prompts in, which is typing little prompts, and yes, you can pull stems out so that they're adding. How long before you put a crowded house song in and say, I don't want you to do it.
You can do it already.
I don't want you to do a crowded house. But a bit like, when you get the playlist to just listen to music and you go, I want it to sound like Taylor Swift, and they give you 2 Taylor Swift songs, and then they start playing other people who the algorithm says, well, if you like Taylor Swift, you're going to like this. Yeah. How long? I think you just preempted
It'll do covers.
Before you do that and say,
you can put a track in.
I want you to invent a cover of the style of crowded house.
You can do it now.
Sure.
You can do it now. You can put a track in and it'll do a cover.
So it's not a prompt. It's just
I saw a reel this week. You've probably seen it. It's the Beatles doing a version of "Don't Look Back in Anger."
No.
And they've got some video footage, and they've tweaked the video to make it
no.
look that John Lennon is singing.
And is it good? Is it any good?
It's very good.
The sound is good.
Yeah.
But is it a Beatles? If you were a Beatles
No, it's
cover
done in the
band-
style. Probably
Yeah, but
it's probably 68, 69. That's that era of the Beatles.
That's what I'm saying.
And
if you were a covers band
doing
Look Back in Anger, would it be what you'd come up with?
If you were the Beatles.
No, but if you're a Beatles cover band and someone said, play Don't Look Back in Anger, would it have that Beatles playing?
100%. It really, honestly, no, it's really scary. Really scary.
We need like Joe Rogan has. He has a
loves
Jamie.
this.
Jamie, pull that up for us.
Right,
would you?
let's get some real music.
We need a Jimmy.
Right,
A Jimmy.
so we're going to swap positions because of
good.
cameras, and then Mark's going to give us some real music.
Yes. John.
Remember, I'm John. That's Mark.
That's John.
Yeah, it's
You're
not-
John.
I've been drinking wine.
You're
Anyone
John with an
watching
H,
knows
and
I've
you're
been drinking
John.
wine.
You're John without an H.
without
aren't
an
you?
H.
I'm a Jonathan, Mark.
Oh, John. So
it's a
you're
John,
as a
J-O-N.
John without
Yeah.
an H. Without an H. So Jonathan.
This is the bit we'll just drop. Right, let me set you up.
This is a bit we'll chop unless you say anything as interesting as just going to have a quick.
Quick stop. Wheel up. Level.
1, 2, 2.
Hang on. Yes. We need to bring you up and we need to drop you down again afterwards. Yeah, we can pretty smooth.
So just a bit of background on this one. So I went through.
Don't move the cameras. Don't move
It's a long shot. Mark, you weren't in the picture, so I didn't.
So okay.
Yeah, this is pretty good. You know what's going. Okay, good.
I can zoom in post. We'll fix it in post.
That's all good.
Right, sit down, John, and then John will do this.
So this song,
Will you sit down?
has he had his Ritalin?
He's short. He's in shot.
Good.
Anyway, so I wrote this song maybe 3 years ago when I'd been through yet another slightly uncomfortable relationship, and then I recognised a certain pattern in my behaviour. So this song came from that. This one's called "It's Just My Game." In this complicated game that I designed, it's safer hiding where the feelings are ill-defined. The complex rules have no truth or reality. It's all-encompassing, confusing. Do you agree? I'll do it again, again, again. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Different girl each time who lights the flame, but the pattern's just the same. It's just a game. Why do I fall into the trap every single time? It's not their fault, but the web has been spun, yet another crime. She's on a pedestal, the dream girl that I adore, but it's easy to see from below that she's not real. Well, just let her go. I do it again, again, again. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Different girl each time who lights the flame, but the pattern's just the same. It's just a game. Na 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 na. It's just a game. Na 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 na. I'll do it it again, again, again. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Different girl each time who lights the flame, but the pattern's just the same. It's just a game. Oh, it's just a game. Absolutely fantastic. That was absolutely superb.
Oh, very kind.
It almost could have been an
I
AI.
knew that was coming.
I'm totally
That
joking.
was
That was beautiful.
I've heard you sang it before, but I've not really caught the lyrics.
No, I had to write an extra verse. I'd only got one verse before.
So we obviously have the subject for later discussion about relationships with women. Listen, we've all got stories to tell about that one, mate.
As indeed, like, sit down and check.
Should be good. Nothing's moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All good.
Yeah, all
all good. Good.
Oh no, absolutely lovely.
No, it was superb.
Well, thank you very much, John.
Is that mine? Have you swapped them? Did you move it over?
I just, yeah.
That was that was absolutely superb.
Thank you.
And
Really,
like I say, I had to say, we all. I mean, when iTunes sort of basically decimated record sales and everybody moved into live performance as being the money making thing. It just tells you what the difference is between listening to a recorded song, which AI will always be, and listening to
Warts and all.
Well, I mean, but exactly warts and all. But it kind of brings me into one of the examples of AI that I was going to play, which kind of has a few of those warts.
Before you do that, though, your AI will always be, studio and just the record. Bullshit.
Well, it will be.
Bullshit. If they can do you a picture like they're doing now, 3 years, 5 years, they'll be doing a video, because after all...
No.
Because the ABBA
it's
thing
all
where
coming.
they've got holographs,
Yeah.
and already other bands are starting to do the same thing, so you're looking at it. They've seen ABBA successfully, so now, I don't know, it'll be Oasis doing a worldwide hologram tour.
Yeah, well,
so what I'm saying is how long...
God
then
help us. It's bad enough they're coming back as it is.
But how long is it? How long is it before you get AI bands doing holograms on tour?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
And Coldplay will be 30 for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, there will be.
Honestly.
Yeah,
And
well,
still good. And
yeah,
still good.
But we're not going to be able to escape it. And as I say, I think before, there's a lot of parallels between songwriting and the sort of process for AI. I'm not going to pretend that the two are comparable in terms of the effort that takes to get there. But in terms of how you work, you've got to. I come up with an idea, I come up with a concept, and so on, and I work through the prompts and I refine the prompts. It's a massive shortcut. But
would you agree, John? Because this is kind of my take, which is how I write songs and you write songs.
Do you write as well?
No, but I have a friend who does.
Oh, okay, right.
But
I thought we caught him then.
I know.
Nearly caught him, nearly. Damn, it was a good try. And everyone does it differently. That's one of the things.
Yep.
It's not something that's been commodified how individuals approach songwriting. I've never met two people who do it the same.
They all do it differently. And even within one artist, it might be I've got a melody, or it might be I've written the lyric, or I've got a chord sequence.
And some artists have that range, and some artists only do it one way, and it works for them, and it goes on. But say Mark's saying in a sense that process. What I certainly do, and I'm just interested whether it's yours, is I will generally have an idea. It starts with a spark. It's often, actually, I have to say, it's often when I hear people singing in a concert, I'll be there on my phone, I can't help it. They're singing a song, and they'll use a verse line, and I go, oh, that's nice, I like that. So I'm thinking of it as a hook, I'm thinking of it as a central theme of a different song. So that's the first thing. I get an idea, an idea. Mm-hmm. From the idea, I generally pretty quickly go, what what type of song is it going to be?
So
is it going to be
groove, speed, BPM?
Exactly,
all
of
Sorry,
that.
for the listeners listening, BPM is beats per minute.
I know.
Not
Of
like,
course,
I know.
Mark knows that.
he knows that because when he speaks to the computer and says, what's BPM, it tells him. Anyway, bitch. Meow. Anyway, but I'm just saying
How many albums is...
No, exactly. How many songs did you do in 6 weeks? 500, of which 10...
I've probably got... part of the problem with this is that it generates too much stuff that I like.
But then you filter hard.
And then but my threshold has got way higher now from what I discovered.
It's got to be
Well,
good.
the discernibility.
But what I need now is the skills to turn something that's 90% there into something that's 100%.
But they're going to give you wider and wider program options that you do. But just back to this. So I would say, I get an idea. With the idea comes a feel. And the feel tends to move you into a genre because you want to get a feel. Is it sad? Is it happy? Is it whatever? Once you've got that, you start thinking, for me at least, I'll be thinking, certainly I'll develop the lyrics. So I'll get the idea into an actual song, a theme. But along with that, either before or after it, there'll be the kind of chord underbelly. What's in this genre? What's the feel of the chords? But all of those, as Mark's often said, will be informed by listening to music, which is kind of what AI is doing. It's listening. AI's listening
It's
to
just
all
AI
music.
has just a completely extensive
It has a massive
range. I'm somewhat limited to what I've listened to. However, obviously since Spotify and other well-known brands of streaming have come out,
We don't like Spotify anymore. You can slag them, don't worry, because
really?
they took away our
they
copyright,
stopped you.
so they can go screw themselves.
Mind you, no, it's from difficulty comes
Something.
sort of-
There's no doubt that I have learnt a lot from the ability to really cast my net out further. The other thing as a musician, and you'll know this, the more that you play with different people in different genres, the more you learn. So then that feeds back into your writing.
Yeah, well, I've always had a very broad taste in music. I listen to all sorts. I mean, I really like classical music. I like the more esoteric stuff. I've done some fairly esoteric stuff on techno, melodic techno recently. But what?
Let's move on.
What?
Let's move on. It's a little bit nerdy.
No. I know. We're going to move.
There's going to be people shooting themselves because they want to
Where's the
hear
politics?
They want to hear
it's like
our.
being fucking
They
married.
want to hear our strongly held opinions about everything.
Good.
That's what I can hear them in the
Well,
earphones.
as we're
John, Mark, why aren't you talking about?
As we're music heavy tonight, I dare say we shall return to that in some form or another. So, John.
Right.
Well, hang on a minute. I've got a thing here.
Have you got? Oh, I think. Go on.
Hang on.
His jingle abilities, honestly, it's like lightning. It's like Philip.
So, John, tell us what's been happening in the news this week.
Well, Philip Schofield, you might think about it. Just because you have sex with a very, very young man who you've got a job for in the BBC, I mean, it's not like anywhere. ITV. I think
Apologies to the BBC there.
he says, well, yeah, and indeed legal issues. I think he's right. He said I didn't do anything illegal. And they destroyed me enough that I have to live on a desert island for a week to get my PR agency to recover my reputation.
Last chuck of the dice to try and rehabilitate himself.
I think it's going to work.
It's not.
Yeah,
apparently, there was a thing about it on the radio on the way
Telegraph.
over there. No, on BBC, and saying that this is just like
I don't think so.
A car crash.
I don't think so, because I think...
I didn't think that at all when I saw it.
Oh, did you watch it?
I think
I watched some of it.
We didn't dislike him in the first place. It was Holly Willoughby who shot on him
It's
and
kind
threw
of
him under a
ironic that he
bus.
used to be in a closet back in the day with a stuffed doll or whatever it was.
Remember? No, Gordon the Gopher.
Yes.
He had his hand up somebody's jacksie even then.
Stop it. No.
In a closet.
In a closet, yes.
Have we heard Gordon's side of this yet? Well, I was offered a job.
No, he's signed an NDA, I think.
He's had his mouth sewn up.
Stop it.
Very good.
Poor old Gordon. Poor old Gordon. Can anyone remember what Gordon sounded like?
I don't think Gordon
about
actually said anything.
I don't think he said anything. I think he was a silent partner.
He probably already had his mouth sewn up, so he couldn't tell
about
it.
Gordon or the runner who squeaked a bit.
We don't know. We don't know what
we
don't know what the young person.
That'll be the next one.
Because they always describe it as a young person, don't they? We know it was a bloke.
Yeah, no, everyone knows.
But who cares? I mean, listen, who cares?
It's got me
I mean, who cares?
I don't care.
I don't care. But the thing is about sort of abuse of his position, a dominant position, blah, 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 which I think, would kill 99% of office romances. And certainly the way I, met my wife would have been frowned upon seriously these days because she was a practice manager and I was a barrister in my chambers.
So did you
was
have
there an age difference or not?
Oh, yeah.
Years.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How many?
12.
Oh, she's gorgeous. No, I mean, look at this wreck. She's gorgeous. So hang on. Did she have power over you or did you have power over her?
Well, that's a debatable question because her being a practice manager, has...
Doles out the work.
Has some degree of control over, the work you do.
On the other hand, you being a fine, upstanding, virile barrister must, have certain cachet.
Yes. You forgot handsome.
Oh no, I didn't forget.
But I mean, today it would kill. It would kill a lot of office romanticism.
But it doesn't because everyone ignores it in the real world.
They do
in the real world of any normal.
I'm not sure they do. I'm not sure they do.
I don't think until somebody gets pissed off. Until generally the girl gets pissed off. And then,
I think it's not even the girl, by the way. I think a lot of this is, the enemy in the office who puts the knife in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, it was another, because we kept sort of our relationship quiet because of the perception that she might be.
Also gives it a frisson.
Yeah, well, might be favouring.
I was going to say, does it not add a little bit of spice to the whole thing?
No, it didn't really.
Yeah, it did.
There was enough spice going on, I can tell you. We didn't need any more.
Plus the fact she was able to give him all the great work without anybody knowing.
But the point is, though, as soon as we did this, we were both very conscious of it, and I didn't get her to clerk me at all, and she would not, put me forward. So there could be no trail or anything like that. And I always went to the other clerks when I was dealing with anything. So we were scrupulous in that regard because I didn't want to compromise her position because she was the one that was going to get it in the neck if there was any issue, not me.
So how did it come out then? Did you?
Another member of staff
outed you.
Said, outed us. Yeah,
in a bad way,
and she got sacked despite the fact that there was absolutely no suggestion. Because she was still.
Oh, sorry, your wife did.
Yeah, Claire did.
Claire did.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't know she got sacked. I thought she left.
No, she was still within her probationary period, and therefore got sacked.
But actually, just to be clear, moved on to far better and bigger things.
Moved on to far better things, and then back to.
Yeah, they called her back.
They got her back.
They literally sacked her for shagging him, which I agree is a lapse in judgment that is worthy of that. I don't disagree. I don't agree with the politics.
I think
but I don't want to be. I was a barrister. I don't want to be. No, it's not the relationship. It's fine. I don't want to be clerked by someone with such bad judgment. I'm sorry, but here's the bit. They came crawling back and asked us to rejoin them. Can you just cut
his mic for a second?
No, he does that.
Okay. So what was the reason that they got her back? I mean,
because she's a bloody brilliant clerk.
Right.
The thing is, she worked in recruitment for a little while, and then she worked in another chambers where she took the family group and she built it basically. Well, actually, I mean, she just took one particular practice area, which is ancillary relief, sort of divorce and all that sort of stuff, and really, really built it up. And the clerks really liked it.
So then, did you have to have ground rules then if you're working? You're still working.
Listen, chambers is a fairly loosely run organisation. And I think one of the reasons she got sacked initially is because she was so good, she was showing up others in the clerk.
So there was a bit of that going on.
There was that, and people would go to her to be to deal with the queries because she would deal with things quickly, efficiently. She was great with the solicitor clients and so on.
So she ruffled feathers.
Feathers. I mean, she was showing people who were not very good up. So they saw that as an opportunity. But of course, her abilities didn't diminish elsewhere, and her reputation.
But how much fun is it when the company that sacks you asks you to come back?
Was it the same person who sacked her?
Well, no, it was the head of chambers at the time who had, in the intervening period, died. But it was a senior clerk who runs the chambers, basically the CEO of the commercial side of the chambers, who had known Claire for a long time and respected her as a clerk. And when the clerks that originally knifed her got binned because they couldn't take any, the younger ones coming up. What the old school clerks would normally do is they'd favour quite heavily the senior members of chambers. And as the younger ones, because it's easy, they don't need to clerk they don't need to work very hard, blah, 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 blah.
And also they're the ones with the power.
And the ones with the power. But as the younger ones come up and the older ones retire, they get, have seen what's been going on. And when they get in the position of power, the first thing that happens is they're out. Okay, and that happened then. And then they approached Claire to come in.
I think it's really nice. In life, if someone shits on you, and by an organisation and individuals, because it is like that. It feels like shit when it hits you. The self-enjoyment of kind of going, they've come back, and they've asked for me, and they're doing it. It's great. It's great.
Good
but
for her.
anyway, and is that the chamber she's at now? We don't need details.
My chambers.
But it is your chambers, yeah. And it's just gone on for how many years since then? We're telling a story from
6-7 years she's been in chambers now.
But life's normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so this thing that was so bad, the potential conflict that was so bad, no one gives a fuck about anymore.
Oh, no.
Which is just how the real world works, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, how did we get from where were we on the news?
No, we never got to. We never got to
Philip Schofield, I think, was that.
Philip Schofield.
Stockholm.
Oh yes, relationship.
We went
Relationship.
through Philip Schofield, but some actual news that I think is of interest is how close are we, and by that I mean the West, and how quickly it can go. And 1 minute we were talking about Germany and Russia and Ukraine. Middle East. I mean, it was all our lives since we were teenagers onwards. The Middle East is a flashpoint, which has generally calmed down mostly because we ignored what was going on. And one of the big things when Gaza started was everybody, especially in the West, going, we can't let it escalate. We can't let it go bigger. We can't risk a Middle East war. There is no question we've taken a big step further. It doesn't mean we're there, but we've gone a big step further. What do we think? I read the article today that was literally saying, Iran directly is firing hundreds of missiles at Israel. Well, no, it's not proxies. That's the difference.
From Iran?
No, Iran has been firing.
Not from Iran.
Yes.
No.
Well, I don't know, from Iran, but not through proxies, according to the
from
article.
Hezbollah. Iran has.
No.
Oh, no. The recent.
That's what I
Sorry. So
just
this
read
is just
tonight.
this evening.
Oh, yeah, just this evening. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a difference. So the traditional balance in the Middle East has been for a very long time now Iran versus Israel, and Iran is dedicated. We've had conversations here where we take a very dim view of what's happening in Gaza, and I think we should, because I think there is genocide. You may not agree with the term, but I think there is genocide going on for lots of political reasons to do with Gaza. Mm-hmm. Whether we like it or not, and whether we've been outmaneuvered or not, Netanyahu and this government, who in many cases we've criticised and despised legitimately, has broadened the war. I personally think there's very clear political reasons why.
So. Yeah, no, I agree.
So, because it suits. But the effect of that has been to push, for me at least, slightly the discussion in a wider context, which doesn't make anything right, but it makes it more difficult. Because if Iran is the counterpoint, and we have to be clear, Iran is dedicated to the destruction of Israel. It is, right, as a country. It doesn't matter if it's held in check, but that's their position. Mm-hmm. They use Hezbollah as their ground troops. Mm-hmm. And in a potentially genius move, even if I don't like it, this attack on Hezbollah has made us have to go, okay, the reality is it's now this, what do we do? And I think so tonight, Iran, according to one news report, we can even be wrong, I'm just going off the news report, is Iran to back Hezbollah, because they were pretty much leaving them out to wither and die, because they didn't do anything really. And they've got quite a reformist prime minister, but they've still got their Ayatollah, who's over everything, have launched missiles directly at Israel. So now we have an Iran-Israel conflict, which may be being held down a bit, but at the same time, Israel's going for ground operations against Hamas. So my feeling is, on any look at that, the conflict is widening. It doesn't mean it will widen up to full scale. The more difficult,
where you see full scale.
well, full scale is full scale war of Iran and.
But what does that mean?
Yeah, I know.
You know,
They haven't got enough troops.
They haven't got, no, exactly. They
Well,
haven't
they
got
actually
enough
no.
troops.
Sorry, they have millions of troops.
Yeah,
whether they just
No,
walk
the
into a
Israelis
wall
haven't
of
got
death.
any troops, or they haven't got enough.
No, but they've had enough to hold off 6 Arab nations before. In the 6-day war, they were attacked by Jordan, Iran, and 6 nations. They have such a technological advantage, a bit like the whole Russian-Ukraine thing. If we keep giving them high-tech weapons, you can send 100,000 believers in, and then another 100,000. But pretty sure you're going to run out.
Need an awful lot of virgins in heaven.
Well, exactly. You're going to run out.
Just think of all those martyrs, eh? But, okay, now more virgins.
By the way, as a complete aside, I love the stand-up comedian who did his Iranian bomber puppet, and he went. So, hello, and it was all gay angels in heaven going. We never said they were girls. We are virgins, but never said they were girls. And I love the idea. That, to me, would be poetic justice. You're going to bomb a load of innocent people. I think you should go to a heaven that includes 100 virgin males.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing that seems to be that the Israelis are not really listening to the Americans either.
Don't need to.
They're not.
Real politics, they don't have to.
Well, they have to
The Americans
insofar as
can't
they rely on
withdraw.
America for,
But they don't have to because
munitions.
America cannot leave Israel.
No,
in the Middle
they
East.
can't. They can't.
It's the only power group that America's got in the Middle East. If it abandons Israel, America's finished in the Middle East. So, and Netanyahu,
Knows
not being stupid, knows that. So he can do anything he likes. And they'll bitch, as we will, and whinge. But what's different about this to me at the moment is what was going on in Gaza to me was cleansing. It was so clear that they were kicking them out of the whole area so that they could, because there's lots of geopolitical reasons for that they need to reduce the number of Muslims in order to and Arabs in order to keep Israel as a fundamentally Jewish state. If they include, we've said this before, if they include Gaza and the West Bank in Israel proper, Jews will become a minority.
Yeah, but not in terms of their economic and political.
No,
clout.
but in terms of it being a Jewish state, it's fundamentally
it'll always be a
apartheid.
Jewish state.
No, it'll only be that's wrong. It only remains a Jewish state if you make sure that non-Jews don't become the majority. The Northern Ireland issue,
they'll never let that happen.
Well,
Never let
that's
that happen
why
in a
they're
million
doing
years.
a genocide to stop
Well, they don't
it.
even need to do that. They don't need a genocide
They do.
to stop
There
that.
is
All they
no
need
way.
is some form of electoral gerrymandering.
I believe what you're after is apartheid.
No,
Yes, it is.
Anyway.
That was the correct description. If you set the politics up that the citizens don't have equal value and the Arab citizens
I
don't
think
have
that's
equal
a
value, it's
rather-
apartheid.
If you think that all Israel has got to worry
It's in the
about
bar.
is whether there is an electoral majority of Muslims in
No, you're
Israel,
utterly
then
wrong.
that's just silly.
I'm sorry, you're utterly wrong because demographically, that's exactly what's happening.
Oh, you think that Israel's going to say, we got an electoral majority now of Israel? No.
Well, hang on.
Really?
Exactly. Hold on. Exactly as the white majority government in South Africa did. They did exactly
It's
that equation.
not the same.
It is because they went. If we throw some of their leaders out of a tower block,
It's not
we
the
will stop the blacks
same.
taking over. It is exactly the same. And you know what? The blacks did take over.
It's not the same.
It is. I do hope John's gone to get wine. I'm trying to. I can't find any. It's the biggest fridge of wine you're ever going to see. Anyway, back to. So it is the same, Mark.
No, you're wrong.
Saying it's not. Saying it's not.
Wrong,
it's just
wrong.
Oh, blinker Tories.
Do you
By the way,
honestly,
carry on.
hang on, let me just put it to you this way. Do you honestly think there's any way the Israeli government is ever going to let there be the situation where an electoral majority would determine whether there remains a Jewish state or not?
So
really?
Wait.
Really?
Wait, Mark. So if democracy makes that happen, which is happening in Northern Ireland, wait, if that's what's happening, how do you stop it? Well, one way is to genocidally clear.
Yes.
So do you agree
Not
with that?
genocidally clear, but
No, clear. Let's bomb them and kill them. Let's bomb them and kill them.
Well,
it's what's
hang on a
actually
minute.
happening, Mark.
Hang on a minute.
Mark, it's not a joke. That's what they're doing. They're bombing and killing them so there aren't as many left.
Who started it?
So you say it's okay.
Who started and who implanted themselves so thoroughly in Gaza?
What you mean,
so
in
that
defense of their people?
If you're going to attack a terrorist organization such as Hezbollah,
defined as terrorist,
terrorist organization such as Hezbollah,
unlike them who kill 100 to 1
Israel,
Arabs,
whoever's the strongest gets to define who the terrorist is.
Which is your lack of moral compass?
Oh, bullshit! There's no such thing. Listen, honestly, there's no such thing as right or wrong, but that we make it so.
So basically, genocide's okay. Hitler was right to kill the Jews so long as they were weak. Is your argument?
According to the Germans, yes, but not according to the standards
according
we would apply
to
today.
you. But you're applying this standard to Israel. You're saying it's okay for them to genocidally wipe out the Arabs.
You are, again, as you always do, confusing explanation with excuse.
No, you confuse explanation with sort of support.
Can I interject?
Hang on, just 2 seconds.
He's the guest. He gets.
When did I indicate any support?
Guest.
My point is, a question for you, really. So, given that the so-called terrorists were hiding in hospitals and children's homes or whatever, how could the Israelis have gone in to try and fight these terrorists, having then invaded them and killing loads of their people? How could they have done it without some collateral damage?
Some collateral damage, I think, is absolutely. But the answer...
That's acceptable.
No,
so it's the amount.
Hang on, with you asking a serious question.
Yeah.
Right. So in Northern Ireland, right, where the British government didn't start this way, but very soon the British government were effectively defending the Protestant majority and certainly the power majority against the Catholics, okay?
No. That's
I
not
said
how
it's not how it started. I just said not how it started. I say it's how it developed.
No, it didn't.
Anyway, so you're asking a question, right? What it did was it did it with limits that only a democratic system would apply to itself, right? So yes, there were still massacres, and we were aware of them, Bloody Sunday and whatever, but they were actually the exception. The British Army, with all its power, fighters and everything else, did not carpet bomb the Catholics out of Northern Ireland, right? And to its credit, you know, and we're both Republicans essentially, right, in political terminology, but you know, Republicans in a democratic way. But we are Republicans. I would like United Ireland. That's my choice. I live in a free country where you don't get imprisoned for that view, right? Had the British government, and I think some of the force for the Good Friday Agreement was in fact the British government going, you take a deal that might not be what you want, but is going to set a future that's safe, prosperous, everyone benefits.
That's called a compromise.
Well, everyone benefits.
But
and one day
you can't
finish.
draw any parallel between Northern Ireland and the Middle East.
I am.
Well,
so
you're wrong then.
Well, you may be wrong, but doesn't mean I
again,
can't.
You're naive.
Doesn't mean I can't. Doesn't mean I can't.
You can,
and
but
largely, you've
wrong
already
to do
agreed
so.
this, and we can go back previous episodes. But here's my point to answer your question. To the British government's credit, in fact, to the British people's credit, the power it had it wanted to use it, was unsustainable. Had they carpet bombed the Catholic areas of Belfast, it would have collapsed in 2 days, a day.
To even raise that as a possibility.
But to even raise it is because we're a mature democracy where we wouldn't do it. Okay? What you're seeing in Gaza is what happens if they would do it. They have levelled Gaza, let's be clear.
John, the British weren't under
Britain
the existential
quite different
threat.
from Israel, isn't it?
Say again, Ian?
Given the background of Israel and its politics and its the way that state has suffered, well, at least the people, the Jews, it's difficult to see how they wouldn't react. It's how they react, I think, is the problem, and how much they've reacted.
Just for context, my first wife, my late wife, 21 years with her, was Jewish. So I have a Jewish mother-in-law. My wife was Jewish. I'm in the secular North London Jewish group. And many of them would disagree with what I say, and an awful lot of them would, because there's always been a left wing in Jewish politics and a right wing. The Israel is absolutely controlled by the right wing. You know, Netanyahu, for all the criticisms I will throw at him, relies on his right-wing partners who have a God-given belief in no compromise. Right. So
just like the Iran does in the destruction of Israel.
But that I agree with. Hang on, theocracy, I'm against. I'm a Democrat. I believe in a secular democracy because exactly, I'm with you. The hard right of Iran is the same. And all I'm trying to say is the idea you can't draw parallels is bullshit.
You can't. No, you can't.
They are two states.
Listen, Britain did not live under an existential threat every day.
The Northern Irish
did.
Hang on, the Northern Irish Protestants.
Shit.
Hold on. The Northern Irish Protestants said they were going to be driven out of Northern Ireland by the Catholic Fenian bastards, of which we're two of them.
All right, if you say so.
Well, anyway.
If you say so, but for what it's worth, let me say.
We used to agree a lot more about this.
I do think, so far as Gaza is concerned, things could have been done better.
Oh, fuck
okay,
off.
but
It's
so
worse than that. It's genocide.
But so far as invading Lebanon is concerned, I'm completely 100% behind them.
It changes the dynamic, and I'm agreeing with that. Even though you have very strong feelings about one thing. What is it? I just read a very interesting article. It was only yesterday, so that's why it's here. Is a very interesting article about that side of it. And what it basically said is Iran's been trying to get a nuclear weapon because the moment it gets a nuclear weapon, everything changes.
They're going to be nuked. The moment they get anywhere near a nuclear weapon, they're going to be nuked. They will be nuked. They will not allow them to get anywhere near it. They'll blow the fucking place up.
I agree, but the idea that we've got a quote democratic nation like Israel nuking people simply because they then have.
But Mark,
let's leave that.
Would Iran, if they did get one, they wouldn't test it. They'd just use it.
No,
right?
they'd threaten.
Because if they tested it, then they'd get bombed.
If they threatened it, Iran would go.
They know exactly.
Israel would kill everyone in Iran if they drop one missile.
And if they get
there's
anywhere,
no question.
Listen, Mossad's tentacles are everywhere, as we know.
Well,
by the way that they were able, and it's genius.
Yeah.
To all these pages that they bought, thinking that the mobile phones weren't going to be secure.
Someone pointed out to me.
Hang on.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, absolutely.
And they won't get anywhere near being able to produce a usable bomb before they will be malleted.
Well, I think
this
is the malleting.
Israel and America will never let it happen.
But I think this is the malleting. I think somehow, whereas I'm very against the Gaza one, I agree this is far more complex because do I want Iran with a nuclear weapon? No, because I do believe Israel should exist. And there's lots of things come along with that. And one of them is a threat of a nuclear weapon. Now, they can get a balance of terror. Iran might drop a nuclear bomb on Israel, but I have no doubt at all, and Iran has no doubt at all, the very next thing is all of Iran would go. It would be a full nuclear conflict because Iran won't have enough weapons to fire 2 or 3. No. So if they hit one city in Israel, even if it's the end of Israel, Israel will kill everybody.
They will.
And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's what mad destruction is. But once you've got the religious lot on either side, I'm 100% with you on the Iran side, it's terrifying. I think this thing with Hezbollah is frighteningly logical, but...
Well, let me just say one thing.
I don't believe...
Lebanon does not want Hezbollah there.
No. Like Jordan didn't.
No. Lebanon will be only too happy to see Israel kick Hezbollah out.
Yeah, it's really weird. You know this.
I didn't know, and I was wondering how it works. Now, obviously,
because
they're not in political
it's become a state
power,
within a state. They are a political power. They are a political
power. But they
power.
can't be controlled.
They're a state within a state,
Lebanon.
and basically their economy is stronger than the Lebanese economy. They've got separate...
Because they're supported by Iran.
And then the Lebanese army is entirely separate from Hezbollah. And they don't get
weaker.
And they don't want it. They don't want them there because Lebanon is basically a very sophisticated and civilized country who was,
non-fundamentalist wants to get on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, what do they used to call it? The Riviera of whatever.
The Riviera of the Middle East.
The Middle East. Yeah, and they want Hezbollah out. Beirut was a cool extremely cool party town.
Although so was Iran at one point.
Yeah.
Can I just say on this one, just so you know, Jordan got Yasser Arafat and the whole PLO in there. Now they all moved eventually to the West Bank and did all that, right? But they effectively created a civil war in Jordan. And Jordan had to almost fight a civil war to get them out because they were just as powerful as the Jordan government and the Jordan whatever, with all its corruption.
So that's why they moved to the West Bank?
Well, they got forced out, but they also got the West Bank. So there is a geopolitical thing going on, and it's bigger, and even I understand the logic of saying, and Israel's done this for a long time, because the thing is, I'm against Netanyahu. I think he's, a corrupt thing, and I do believe he's done genocide. But you have to say to yourself, why has he got general popular support in this war? And he's largely got it because he's fighting a war they've seen in terms of 20, 25 years with Iran getting stronger. This is their chance to take out Hezbollah and Hamas, and therefore weaken Iran to the point it can never get nuclear.
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's
what they want. That's what
right,
they want.
anyway, go on.
Good.
So you've shown again you're just wrong.
Well, I think to compare South Africa and Northern Ireland to the Middle East is naive beyond belief. Anyway, moving on.
Should we get some songs? Do you know any war songs, John?
Hang on. We're having AI now. This is the one. We're doing one. Alternate three and two. So this is the one I mentioned to you previously. I mentioned the previous one, which is the sort of jazz funk one with the female vocal that sounds very human. It's a complicated, and if a human were singing this, it would be a complicated, difficult, long vocal, right. And it would be very challenging to do. And I think that comes through.
Should we get Natio to do it?
It's what you would expect.
Head to head.
The thing is, though, I mean, we all this music. Why we have cover bands. You could have a band that covers our own AI music. Yeah. I mean, let's go. The stuff is good. Anyways, this is called City Lights and Smooth Vibes.
Valley.
Well, there you go. The latest release on Jazz Club. Great. Whoa.
Nice.
What was that? That was the next track.
Chaotic.
Nice. Well, go on. John, you're here as our expert. What's your view?
Oh, just staggeringly good. I was particularly interested in the vocals, obviously, and the bass. The bass was absolutely spot on. I have a friend, Tommy, who's one of the best bass players I know locally. He'd be all over that. He'd go, yeah, I'm loving that. Vocals, very, very accurate, very real. It's as I said to you while we were listening, it's almost as if we're in it's a live recording in a studio with a full band. That's how it's done. Yeah. So it doesn't feel too processed. It feels, there were a couple of little mistakes here and there.
Yeah, but enough to make you think.
Yeah, that it might be real.
And the backing was a little bit loud. The backing track was, but again, exactly what you might expect.
Only thing, if there was a criticism, there's not enough hooks. So real people writing songs would have a knack with hooks.
Yeah. Well, I probably
that might be down to the producer.
A bit too long.
Yeah.
That's just under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I probably
long,
could have.
Isn't it?
It is long, and I've got, as with all of these, I've got various versions.
Yep.
And so, I think I could have missed a separate.
And if I was doing that, I would have had a couple of stops. So that sort of music go da 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 dum
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing,
This
really,
is
really
version,
good.
what version are we on now? 3.5, did you say?
This is 1.5 of Udio.
Right, 1.5 Udio, version 3 of Udio in about 3 years' time.
Yeah. And it's scary.
It's terrifying.
It is.
That's
However, people
almost
still luckily want to see live music.
Yeah.
But you tighten it in with the hologram, and they will.
But I mean, how would you? I mean, how?
Or a live band.
There's no doubt.
them.
There's no. I would never want to sort of misrepresent anything as something I'd done. I'd say, well, if I'd taken some AI,
It's an AI song.
and manipulated it and turned it into something, that I wanted.
What would be interesting, Mark, would be choose a song. I mean, I'd love to jam over that. There wasn't enough guitar for me. There was every now and again. But if you imagine you find one that's a really, really top version to a song, and then you give it to a band to play live. That would absolutely work.
He wants to do that.
This is where I think it's going to go. Either as a when
Mark,
you take a whole track,
it will cost you.
But I think I played a.
I know your rates.
I think I played
you get a discount, mate.
I played that progressive metal one with a female.
I wish I'd heard that one. I haven't heard that. I'll check that out.
Oh yeah. Well when we finish, I'll play it tonight so you can hear it. But it's a banger.
It's stunning because what you've got there. So you've got that, which I think is pretty stunning.
Really good.
He does this one with a metal, and the woman, gets to the point where she screams. The metal scream.
Yeah.
Which sounds
like
easy.
pig squealing.
Sort of, but the point is she does it. The best of them do it really well, where it's a scream, but it still has that vocalization of passion. Okay. But it sounds like a real woman screaming.
Did you put that in as a request as part of it to have a scream there, or
it came with the genre that I specified. Right. So I played with throwing curveballs into the prompt. Metal, progressive metal,
female vocalist,
female vocalist, trip hop,
right?
And if I put that in, and it just it really gives you something. Yeah.
I've got a question for you. So I'm I'm in a I don't know, a progressive metal band, and you're struggling for material, right? So could you write via AI and then use those riffs and play
100%?
Because the songwriter is the AI. He owns the rights.
I own the rights.
No, so if I, as part of a band, had that software, and then I was struggling for a song,
your song.
Amazing.
Your
so
song.
then you could then play or record that live based on the demo done by AI. Yeah. That's extraordinary.
No, it's your right. Because what they're saying is they will give you the rights they have, which basically means all the rights, subject to being sued, because there's big lawsuits going on. Because every prog metal band says, yes, you can't identify me in there, but you have sampled real music to create the algorithm. Therefore, it's based on... That hasn't been sorted out.
But in the same way as you acknowledge, you listen to someone and say, "Oh, I like that. I'm going to make that."
I like it, but I don't copy it.
You
hang on, that's
kinda
a legal
do.
issue. No, I
You
kind of
kinda do.
don't.
You kinda do.
Kind of don't.
Certainly this friend of mine, Mike Madden, told me a story where he said,
nice.
I'm going to write a song and I'm going to copy the exact structure of this very famous song.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to.
Did you hear about that?
No, hang on, it's not an issue because I think it's the creative. No, it's the creative difference. So I wanted to write a song, or Mike did. I wanted to write a song that was based on Sting's Fields of Gold.
Yeah.
Right, because it's an unusual structure, which is basically 3 verses together before he ever gets to a chorus.
It might be 4, actually.
I think it's 3.
I think you'll find it's 4, John.
I think you'll find it's 3.
Who's the senior muso here?
Who's the person who studied the song? It's 3.
I've played it many times. It's 4.
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay, we can resolve that.
Let's have a little, shall we?
So what song are we talking?
5
Fields of
quid?
Gold.
Yeah.
5 quid.
No, without the spittle.
Fields of
No, Irish, you got to do
Fields of
spit. There
Gold?
you go, you did it
Fields
right.
of Gold, is
Fields
it?
of Gold,
Yes.
4
Hang on a
four
minute.
Look
verses.
at AZ
3
lyrics,
verses.
and we just,
3
there's no
verses
way. It's
before he hits the chorus.
It's 4 verses.
3.
Hang on.
3. Radio play.
Hang on. I'm going.
Radio play.
Well,
Album version.
I go on.
I will cue this up.
Oh, no, we don't
No,
want
you
to
don't need to
play
listen to it.
We
Look
want
up
you just
AZ lyrics,
yeah.
Fields of Gold.
Okay.
Right, back to this.
Yeah.
But my point is, yes, I absolutely I want to write a song in that structure because I want to get used to, I want to learn to write in a structure, which is unusual. 3 verses before you go on. Not 4.
AZ lyrics.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
but
let you do
AZ
it.
lyrics,
While we're arguing.
Fields of Gold,
While
Sting.
we're arguing.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So the point is, I wanted to do that kind of, unusual, loads of verses before you drop into a chorus.
Yeah.
Then he bridges, then he hits chorus. It's an
But
unusual
I would
structure.
say that isn't a chorus.
Whichever.
It's
You're being
not.
too
It's a
technical.
B section.
Right.
Not
B section.
so
I
you've
don't
got-
care. I don't care. Right. My point was this. I accept entirely that I analysed the song. I understood how the song was constructed,
Okay,
structure.
I've got them here.
One second. I understood how the song was constructed, and I made a new song. Didn't use the same chords, didn't use the same lyrics, didn't use the same beat, didn't use the same melody.
Unlike that one that sounds like Scarborough Fair that Mike's written.
No? Which one?
Okay, all right.
No, seriously, it wasn't that
There
one.
is- there is-
The nearest one I've gone close to it is that one. But the point I'm on about is that is not copying. That is seeing a structure, understanding it,
That's
and then
what
building
AI
a new
does.
song. No, it really doesn't. It actually takes... the
So
stuff
please
that
put
it-
us out of our misery,
Right, 3 or
Mark.
4.
So Fields of Gold. So
3.
Well, I'll let you analyse. I'll let John analyse it.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Yes, but he sings
4.
a chorus before that one.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
I never made promises lightly. Yeah, look, there we go. No, go back to it.
Might be 4.
1,
Might be
2,
4.
3, 4.
And let me hang on.
B section.
Will you stay with me? No, on that version, that's not the radio play.
Oh, bullshit.
It's not the radio play.
See,
Rubbish.
this is what he does.
Hang on.
He's an
This
amateur,
is-
Mark. He's
getting
an amateur.
right. This is getting a bit out of control and a bit too musical. On to the next subject, and I will have a look.
So, have you got a fiver on you, or are you going to transfer
No,
to
I
my
will
bank
pay.
account?
I will pay the $5 for mine. Right, go something new. Go
That was
to another
wonderful. I
subject.
really
do-
enjoyed
do-
it.
Mark,
Was worth coming
go
on
to
just for
another
that.
Subject.
Do
Yeah.
you want to hear that progressive metal one quickly?
No.
Please, yeah, just
Yeah?
a little section.
Oh, go on.
again.
Yeah,
Okay.
little section of it.
Cold winds whisper, shadows fall. Euphoric chaos, hear the call. Dark lit alleys, neon screams, pain and
The writing's really interesting. What was noticeable there is there's a lack of real guitar,
Yeah.
and it just sounds a little bit that muddy middle part of the.
This is on Suno, which is the original one I was using, which the sound quality is not as
That's
good.
good. The writing is interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I would listen to that. I'd quite like that sort of music.
I know. But I mean, you imagine you get some, rock chick on stage, up there singing that, and I'd watch that. I can watch it. What was that?
Same as I did last time.
What?
Move on. Too much music.
Okay, well we've got.
I'm music. Hang on, music too.
guest.
But this is two music.
Okay. So, what we were going to discuss this
It's
time?
your call. I did mine.
U.S. elections. We were doing the elections, weren't we?
Well, I want a track from Mark though.
From who?
John, you've just had a track from Mark.
Yeah.
Do you want me to sing another song?
Yes, please.
But that's kind of muso, isn't
That's
it?
more music. Look,
I get that.
quick
Have another chat.
elections,
Do your chat.
elections, and then
Elections, and we move on.
elections. U.S. elections.
By the way, this gets you back for every time you've introduced me as John, which you've done quite often.
Have I?
Yes, very often.
Is that 'cause
Why did you have to hold my leg quite so long?
I like
He does that quite a bit, worryingly so.
He does.
Very touchy.
No wonder you're standing. I was sitting over there,
No,
Mark.
quite,
Very
absolutely,
touchy.
absolutely.
Anyone on YouTube
Yes,
to see just how much
Anyone who's
drink
been
is
to
being
boarding
added.
school
Okay.
is slightly
Now-
worried about
Oh,
that.
Now-
did you mention boarding school?
I
Because
did.
I promised we wouldn't mention boarding
Because
school.
if Sir ever touched me like that, I'd be straight to the governor's.
Did you go to boarding school?
I did.
I went to a boarding school, but not as a boarder. I was a day boy.
Oh yeah, we used to hate those. The day bugs, as we used to call them. Yes.
Yes.
Day bugs! I like that one! Day bugs!
Yeah.
No, and no, in Ireland.
You were dipping your toe in,
this
really,
was
but
in
rather
Ireland.
not
Yeah,
really.
only because I lived
Better
locally.
than you did.
Listen. That was they didn't need an additional excuse to try and bully me. So there was enough going on as it was. Having
At
English,
least you could escape. That's the
despite
thing.
being,
You could go
despite
home
being
at night.
Irish and having an English accent, there was plenty for them to pick on me about.
It's not
Yeah,
just
it was
a normal
brutal. The whole
it's
place was bloody brutal.
with the
it was
swans.
physically brutal, but I never saw any sexual stuff at all. I always maintained it's because nobody fancied me.
I was going to say, to be fair, Mark, we all understand that one.
Yes. So, well, that's another subject for maybe.
Do you know the one thing I
Which
swore?
school did you go to? Which,
King's School, Worcester.
okay, was that were you a military family or something?
No,
like that?
no, there were a lot of military families there. No, it's because I got a choral scholarship to Worcester Cathedral.
Okay, yeah.
So that got me into the school. And
I was
then
a chorister as well.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
Where?
Rockwell College in Cashel,
Never heard of it.
Tipperary in Ireland.
So it wasn't quite at the same level as Worcester Cathedral.
May I just
Well,
ask? May I
I'm
just
sorry.
Ask, before you
I'm
get into
sorry,
that, wait,
but-
before you get into that, all I want to
Was
know.
there an audition?
All I want
Yes.
to know.
Oh, was there?
All
Oh,
I want
yes,
to
I
know
was a
is, do you have the
soloist.
photographs
I was
to
a
go
soprano,
on?
boy soprano
Excuse me.
soloist.
We used to call them trebles. Sopranos were women.
Yeah, well, okay, whatever.
Yeah, all boys.
Well,
who are
this is
nearly women.
Ireland.
Have you got photographs of the pair of you as choristers?
Yes,
no,
probably.
I haven't got any. No,
You
I haven't.
lying little piece of
No, I
shit.
really haven't.
Of course you have.
I really haven't.
There is no way your parents wouldn't take pics of you as a chorister. Bullshit.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I don't ever want you to see a picture of me with hair, John. That would be most embarrassing.
As a chorister, I'd be more interested in where the hair was.
I used to have
Well, it depends whether you're looking at towards the end of my choir career or at the beginning. Is that what you wanted to hear?
That's pretty close, yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So Catholic then?
No, it's Anglo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
Our
So we have
cathedrals
two-
in England are
So
generally.
can I just be clear about
Anglo-Saxon.
Yes,
the
of
class,
course, yes,
the
yes,
class
yes.
divide here?
Mind you, no,
right?
we
we have
what was-
two choristers here, right, who both went to public school. I wasn't going to do it until someone raised it, but you bunch of elitist wankers running the country.
I only got into it because I was a local boy and I was a Catholic and
No,
my
you got
education was
into it-
free.
You got into it because you were pretty, as was John.
Where do you get that from?
Because you're choristers.
It's not about being pretty. It's being able to sing and being
The
a
high
team
notes.
player.
I used to have
You
to
hit the
sing.
high notes.
Unlike you, John, I've always liked to play music with other people, not on my own.
Oh, now you go masturbate around this. Is this where you're going?
I used to have to sing in Gaelic.
Sorry?
It's a Catholic term. Don't worry about it.
But funny, the Irish never call it Gaelic; they call it Irish.
Yeah.
Speak Irish.
Yeah.
Do
And
you
they
speak
say
Irish?
it
Yeah.
in English. They say it's Irish. Yeah.
But that's just really funny. That's boarding school humour immediately. Gaelic.
Says he who went for a quick.
So did you?
When we said we were going to be nice and not in any way attack,
we're
no,
good.
I've had a drink
you don't
now, it's
understand.
fine.
I am.
He can handle himself.
I
He's
know
a-
he can. Of
he's
course
a
he can.
big boy.
Well, in fact, many people can handle him.
He's a big boy, as
but
you
I
know, since you've had your hand
I
down there.
immediately said.
Hang to the left, actually, if you want to know.
I immediately
Thank
said I wasn't going to touch public school.
What are you going to say then?
I said I wasn't going to do it. But now I know the choristers.
How do you say?
Is it choristers?
Choristers, yeah.
No, sorry, I was working.
Well,
in class.
actually,
I don't know
sorry,
how to say
Mark was a
choristers or
chorister, I was a
chorister.
choral scholar.
A choral scholar. Is that a linguistic trick? No. Anyway,
Did you
Trick
wear
of
a
the
ruff,
tongue.
Mark?
No, we didn't do that. No,
Did you wear medals or anything when you were a senior?
No.
did you have it wrong?
No, we didn't.
Cassock?
No, we just went in a blazer, the shirt tie and
Didn't
blazer.
have a cassock.
No, it's Catholic.
I had a cassock.
Surely the choir had
No, I had cassock.
and a surplus.
I was an
No?
altar boy. Hang on,
Really?
wait.
No.
I was an altar boy, so you and me shared a
Oh,
cassock.
well, yeah.
We won cassocks with all the frills at
This
the
is
That's
where
where
you
he's
have
learnt it from.
The ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, so
We're
You're not expecting me to sing after
we're
that,
going
are
to
you?
do.
We're having Jay. It's good. Let's let John sing.
Yes, let's
Otherwise
let John
it's
sing.
like, right,
I think
next.
it's time for him to sing.
Okay. Oh, my ears. Oh. Getting pissed is a bit unfair.
And I think we need mystery whiskey sometime soon.
It's got 3 to do then.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of time.
Let's
Plenty of
make
time.
sure, okay.
Thank you very
You're only at 1 hour 20 minutes so far.
Sound technician.
Okay.
Right then.
So tell us about the song, John.
Well, quick sound check E first.
One, two. So
Sounds all right here.
yeah, it sounds
Can you
good.
just play a little bit because we can cut this? So I just want to hear you a little bit.
Okay,
Make
so
sure it's good.
ahead, I need to give you before I even play anything. I have to just tell you a little bit about this. So
No, because we'll do that.
No,
as
no,
part of the recording.
it sounds fine.
Okay, fine. Sorry, go on.
one, two, 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 two. So this song is a song called Honesty. Now, if you're listening, Izzy, I apologise. So we co-wrote this. This is my latest collaboration lady I've been working with for maybe 3 or 4 years now. And I sent her this particular guitar riff. And I already had a melody for the verse. She tweaked it quite considerably and sent me back 2 more verses and a middle 8 lyrically. And so this is a complete collaboration, and I'm so. This is our version, if you like, of something a little bit like Landslide. It's got that feel about it by Fleetwood Mac. It's a beautiful song. I've heard that. That's very, very good. This is very, very new. We have actually just recorded a demo of this at a studio in Moseley. And I just hope I do it justice. And at some point, maybe you'll play the finished product on here when we got Izzy. But it's too good not to share with you. So if I may, this one's called Honesty.
It was still recorded that.
Can we just turn it down a little bit?
But he was on a mic.
It records everything.
Just take it, you said it, but then start.
When the morning comes and it's time to find the word, oh, I'm riding either way, riding the wave of your awful betrayal. Oh, I'm dying for a break. Oh, there's nothing more to say. There's nothing more to say now we've gone our separate ways. Don't even know your real name. No forwarding address, though now I don't even care. I only have myself to blame. Oh, I'm to blame. Remember when we were falling in love, when we had no consequences for our disasters, only damage us. Remember when we were falling in love, there were no consequences for our disasters, only damage us. Taking all our innocence. Tell me something that you've never said before, 'cause I don't believe a single word that I said to be in a war. Baby, you don't lie to me, 'cause I know you're trying to hide. 'Cause honestly, it's not you. Honestly, it's not you. Honestly, it's not you.
Beautiful. No, seriously. I loved it.
thank you,
I
guys.
absolutely loved it.
Thank
That
you.
was
Well,
fantastic.
I can't tell you how. There's a big nod out to Isabel Sparks, because she's done an amazing job on that.
It's
Well,
just a
we're
beautiful
obviously
song.
going to have to develop a bit of a thing here with local musicians.
So.
The crack
The crack.
in the Brum.
The crack in our arse
The
crack
cra-
is the
yeah.
local music.
These are the people that put the crack in Brum. That was honestly, John.
Thank you,
John, that was beautiful.
Oh, thank you,
It
mate.
was
I really appreciate that.
absolutely bloody
No, it's a
beautiful.
great song.
Could I possibly take? I know I'm the one who's got the weak bladder tonight. Can I possibly nip to the?
Of course, yeah. Don't worry, no problem.
You're in the right crew
Once
for
it's
that.
as long as we record it all, I can chop it around and make sure everybody knows that you, like all middle-aged
You
men,
are,
have.
guitar
That was fantastic. Absolutely loved it.
And I'm not sure yet about that. It's just something.
No. Listen,
But
listen.
It's a vanishing small gap.
I really get it. It will do once I put that through AI.
No.
But you can do that. You can put a song in. It'll.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, or just a bit of a song, or even just if you hum, an idea for a
Well, we
melody.
said this, didn't we? When we were first talking about this, it's definitely developed since then.
Yep.
It really has. But wasn't it really?
That was
Genuinely
a
brilliant.
really
Both
really
of his
good
songs,
song.
he's a great songwriter, and that's ignoring the technical ability. He's such a good guitarist
Completely.
and a very good singer.
Yeah,
The question then is, why does someone like that not?
I know. Are we going to do the whiskey of mystery?
Well, I'm only hanging off on the mystery whiskey, history whiskey, only because John's got another song to do.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
I'm
fine.
just worried because I can't play for shit.
We
when
don't
I'm
have
drinking,
to.
as you know well.
What?
The moment I drink, I'm shit at playing. But because we were
Well,
considering to the
There's a
whiskey,
sweet spot.
and
I
are
think
you
there's
in it?
definitely a
Where-
sweet
Where are you on the sweet spot?
sweet spot. Just
Just
turning up.
we'll just have a
only
sip.
'cause I-
Or just
You
out
don't
of
have
it?
to drink it all. What we'll do is we'll do the mystery whiskey, and then we'll do.
Because
we
we
do one at the
taste
end, maybe at the end, if you want to do a song at the end.
a song at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
we
the last
taste
one
it.
is about drinking.
Okay,
Oh,
well, there you
that'd
go.
be
That's
great.
good. That's good. Good
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
Good
good.
stuff.
Okay, cool.
Good stuff. Right. So then,
Another subject. Let's
another
go.
subject.
What are we
Another
on?
subject before the alcohol of mystery.
I would chop this.
We're going
as
to
well.
do. I'll decide. I'm the editor. Thank you.
Have you noticed his nipples get aroused when he asserts power? Have you seen that?
No, I actually haven't seen that.
No, it's something you don't get on the.
He
podcast
must love,
normally.
Mark, he must love having someone to like turn to and go, well, ooh, look at him. Look at him. I noticed that. It's quite clever. Yeah. Divide and conquur.
It's also to do with personal engagement.
Can you stop flirting, John?
Yeah,
it's very
just is,
peculiar.
honestly.
This is on video. People are going to see this.
It's like disconcerting, isn't it?
It's really not.
Right. Okay. So I think we wanted to talk about the U.S. elections and the car crash.
I think it's your
that is
turn.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Now let me just.
her. She's terrible. Everybody hates her.
She hates her. She's out there eating the pets in Springfield.
This is really your level of
Let me
political
say, Donald Trump would not be my first choice as
No,
a
you always say that.
Republican.
You said that. I'm
But
so
let me
glad
be
you said
clear.
that.
Let me be clear where that sits.
However-
Hitler, I probably
Oh,
wouldn't have voted for him.
Would you actually prefer Trump to
Yes.
Harris, however much you
Listen,
dislike Harris?
whatever
No, good question from our guest. Answer it.
The
Answer
mistake.
it.
I'm just.
Let him answer,
wait,
John.
Would you prefer?
Do you want me to answer the question or
I'd
not?
like to answer his question.
I'm going to answer it. Yes. If it came to a choice between Trump and Harris, I would vote Trump.
Even though he's sexist, racist,
Just
misogynist.
stop it.
No, because of those things, do you deny they're true, or do you say they're not true, or do you go they're true, but I'd vote for them anyway?
Listen, I don't. They're not true.
Took abortion rights away from women across the whole
No,
of
he
America.
didn't. The Supreme Court declared that it was not a constitutional right to have an
And the
abortion.
Supreme
how many-
Court wasn't actually sort of slightly.
Well, look, that's politics. It's
No.
called democracy.
No, did he say, I got
listen,
the
I'm
three of them
sorry.
in there to do it? You're just
Hang on,
talking
just-
shite.
Do you want me to answer a question, or do you just want to rant in
I
your
want you
usual
to-
incoherent
I want
way?
you to
Let me speak.
actually
Do
you want me to
answer
answer the question?
Answer the question.
Okay.
Don't divert then.
All right.
Did he get those three Supreme Court justices on the basis they'd overthrow Roe
That's
v.
not
Wade?
a valid question.
Seems to me
It's not a
it is.
valid question. It's a question designed to try and make me give an answer that is not appropriate
So why
to
don't
the
you just
issue
give it-
that
why
you're
don't you
trying
just
to
give an
deal
answer?
with.
Can I just put a question out there? If one of our prospective prime ministers had been found guilty in civil court for sexual assault, would you be happy that they were running for prime minister?
Boris Johnson. Like, listen,
No. Answer the question straight. Would you? Would you actually say, "I'll still vote for him"? Because
well, okay. Just remind me then of what the sexual assault that he's been convicted of committing is.
what her
Rape.
name was.
Right.
Well,
No,
he
he's
didn't
not been
actually. No, he
convicted
didn't
of
get
rape. Don't be ridiculous.
No, he didn't get guilty, but
Rather
he
than
did
say-
get
no,
found
no,
guilty.
wait.
Civil, he was found.
Wait. The actual thing he was convicted by a jury of ordinary people following a grand jury where he was indicted by ordinary people was that he penetrated her. He didn't use his dick.
Who?
Oh, he fingered it.
The
didn't he?
woman.
Which woman?
The woman who brought the case of Carol, whatever her name was, something Carol, right? She brought a civil case against him where the standard of proof is very high, like criminal, and a jury
And
of...
why is
Wait. You asked a question, here's the answer. An ordinary
Yeah, I
jury
remember
of
the case
12 individuals found him guilty. A grand jury of 12 individuals found the charges valid to put it to them.
Then
Hang on,
why
wait.
wasn't he? I
Wait.
get the question. Why wasn't
Well, why are
he
you so
criminally
angry?
charged then?
Why-
Because you're just rattling on as you normally do. You can argue. Listen, you're supposedly a trained barrister. Ask a question.
I am a trained barrister, and you're the one.
concisely. Then
You're the one
Don't
who's-
rattle
you're-
on. Listen, you carry on making an endless
Shouting, by the way,
statement.
is exactly
Well, I'm
what
sorry.
barristers stop in court. So you
Answer-
asked a
ask
question.
the- I don't know what
I
the
will
question is.
answer a question.
Ask the
when-
question.
I will. If
Ask
you,
it.
I won't ask the question.
I'm
I'll
not
answer
gonna,
it.
you're not going to rattle on. Go on, ask it.
Okay, very simple. A jury found him guilty of ordinary people. A grand jury found him up for the charge of ordinary people. They have
No,
found...
that second bit. Second bit, grand jury, not in a civil case, no.
There was a grand jury.
Not in a civil case.
think there
You
was.
need a grand jury for a criminal case. There was no grand jury to bring a civil action.
I may be wrong.
You're wrong.
It doesn't change anything.
It does change it. It just changes it completely.
Stop. A jury found him guilty of sexual assault because they weren't sure it was penetration by a dick, but they were sure it was a sexual assault by penetration.
Okay.
Right.
So given
that's
that-
what they found. Back
Right.
to
So
your question.
back to my question: how would you feel if a prospective prime minister came up as something that he'd been found against in civil court?
Okay. Firstly, in a civil court.
Yeah.
Okay. So the jury was directed on a standard of proof on the balance of probabilities, which is insufficient for a criminal conviction. And if there'd been enough evidence for a criminal conviction, do you think that they wouldn't have brought it?
That wasn't the question you were being asked.
No. So this is why I do, and having been a barrister that's been working on the basis of a balance of probabilities as being the standard of proof for 33 years, no, I would not consider that to be sufficient proof. I wouldn't.
And therefore, it wouldn't affect your...
It would not. But the question goes deeper than that. You're asking a very superficial question, and it's much deeper than that. It's much deeper than that, because this is not a battle between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's a battle between two fundamentally opposed and increasingly polarized political views, and the left has weaponized the law against Donald Trump, and
he didn't do that himself when he was in power. He's not going to do that when he gets into power.
Let me say. I would say in the same way that Donald Trump has done that with the left. The problem is we've got two increasingly polarized positions, okay? And you are going to get this happening, and you're going to get the choices between the idiot that is Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. She can't string two
Merely
words.
a statement.
Shut up while I'm talking.
Just like Biden couldn't
Shut
string
up
two
while I'm
sentences.
talking.
No, if you're going to repeat parroted fucking propaganda, she can't put two sentences.
She can't
Anyone
put two
who
words
actually
together.
listens knows that's true. So it's just your bullshit
Well, then why
right-wing.
are you even responding to it then?
Because I'm responding to you propagating right-wing propaganda
But you're
bullshit where you actually
propagating-
you see her destroy him in a debate, and you
Destroy
go, but it's not
him?
true.
She
But it's
did.
not
She
true.
did.
She
She
did, but it's not true because
That's why I just want to do a second one.
If it
Let's
doesn't fit your
see.
agenda, it's not true.
Let's
which
see.
is just right-wing fucking bullshit. You reformer. Oh, let's vote reform because we're not racist enough in this country.
You're calling me racist?
I'm calling you a supporter of reform, and I am saying the reform agenda was racist.
Are you saying I'm racist?
No, I'm saying...
Are you saying I'm
no,
racist?
I'm saying you are prepared to support people who are...
No. Then you're calling me racist.
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. You asked for the distinction. You are prepared to support...
If you're calling me a racist,
hang
you've
on.
got to be prepared to step out on that lawn.
Go on then.
And sort it out.
Go on then.
Physically.
Go on then.
Really?
Here and now.
Okay.
Hang on.
John,
Here
don't.
and now?
I would think it's probably a bad idea, given his
Very
background.
fucking bad idea.
I mean,
You support people who are.
I just find it. There's just so much. When I watch him in the way he doesn't seem
No,
particularly.
listen, I agree with you. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like him.
You just don't like the alternative.
I don't like him, but I think the alternative is in many ways worse. I think it's in many ways worse. And
With
if you're
no
going to,
reason to
if
think
you've
that.
got a, if most people are in the middle. Most people don't agree with the extremes
Yeah,
that we are.
agreed.
She's
that
not
are now-
extreme.
Just
She's
shut
so
up
in
a
the
second
middle.
while I'm talking. For fuck's sake, can you not keep your gob shut for 2 seconds?
God, it almost sounds authoritarian,
Really?
Mark.
That you've got two extremes, and if you're forced to choose between the two, people who do not like either extreme are forced to choose one or the other.
Okay.
The truth lies in the middle.
All right, I have
very
another
much a
question. I have another
centre-right
question,
person.
and I'm really not like John trying to get you. So, if he wins, sorry, first of all, if he loses and then he claims that it's been fraudulently the election is
Stolen.
It's
stolen.
gonna be a
Okay, but if he
storming
does and then he gets in and then decides he wants to have another term and change the constitution,
He won't be able to. He won't be able to. The steps that you have to go through to change the constitution, they can't even. After the midterm elections, nothing gets done in American politics because there's always a swing the other way in the Senate.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. What you would need to do to change the constitution would never happen in a million years. The mechanism is simply not there. And it's always going to be a very close election anyway, so it's impossible.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody said this before Trump's last term. Nothing happened.
Oh, apart from losing every
stop
woman's
it.
right to
Just
abortion.
Stop it.
Well, and-
Stop
and-
it. But that's quite
invading,
democracy.
And families
invading
Hang on a
Congress.
minute.
And
Hang on.
families put in
Hang on a
cages
minute.
because he
Hang
allowed
on a
that.
minute.
You said nothing happened. We're
on
allowed
a
to
minute.
challenge that because it's not true. Oh, I know.
Come down, let's challenge
hang on.
Congress.
And a
I'll be there with you.
Wait. And a huge tax cut for the billionaires,
the
whilst the
problem is
highest
with
level
you,
of taxation in America. No. You make a statement which is nothing happened, and we go, well, this happened, and you go, that can't be right. We can't have to
I'm not
discuss.
sure I said it like that.
We
John,
can't have to discuss. He took women's
I do
rights to an
think I was
abortion
in the
away.
middle of saying something.
No, you're in the middle of lying because you said nothing happened. That is
Well,
a lie, and you will be challenged.
I'm sorry.
on it.
I'm afraid the standard of your rhetoric is about as
Did he
has-
take
ha-
abortion
has
rights
about as
away?
much depth
Did
as-
he give tax
I
cuts
think
only
I
to
was
billionaires?
talking.
Did he
I was
encourage
talking.
people to go and walk into
I
Congress?
think I was talking.
Did he
I think it was-
attack
Did he
the election?
have fake electoral, whatever they're called,
Voters,
college
Do
voters?
you
did
want-
he do that? And if he did,
Did he phone
your
someone and
argument
go,
falls.
I need 14, another 100 and whatever, 11,000 votes, and he phoned up
Did
some
he say
guy
any
in
of
Georgia,
that?
whatever.
Your rhetoric.
No, not rhetoric. We're stating facts. Did he say that? If he did, then answer it.
Your rhetoric is as deep as your intellect. That much.
So the answer is you won't answer any of the facts.
You have no interest in trying to understand what is going in. All you want to do is go,
What we want to
you
do
know,
is
in
hold
that
him to
simplistic,
we want to hold him and the people who
stupid
support
way you
No,
have. You can't
we-
even discuss anything with
we
any
want
depth
to.
whatsoever.
No,
because all
we
you do,
want to.
you
You
don't
won't
even-
go depth because you won't answer facts because the facts aren't in your favour.
You're not listening as ever
So answer
to what
the
I'm
address.
saying.
Did he ask for more votes corruptly to win the election he lost?
Do you think that if
I don't
Kamala
even know
Harris...
what you're talking
Guess.
about.
Do you think that if Kamala Harris loses the election, that she will claim that it's been done fraudulently? Whereas Donald Hunt, he's already
good question.
he's already going to he's already said he's going to do that.
No, good question. He asked a question. What's your view?
That's I don't know. I mean, that's what
Do
the
you think
Democrats.
he will?
When George W. Bush won, they were trying to. This was all the hanging chads. This is when they were saying there was electoral fraud. This is when they were saying there was
What
problems
happened-
with. Just shut up a
What
second.
happened when the
shut
courts?
the fuck
What?
up.
No, don't do that.
No, I'm going to do that. If you're not going to listen.
If you're going to do this, we both do it.
If you're not going to listen to.
if you
Right,
think you're going to do
John,
that,
John, John,
you do
give
it.
him a chance. Don't let it
that's
spoil.
it. I'm not.
No, you're the one pushing.
John. I thought
We've
that
come
Al
to-
Gore
we've come to an end
accepted.
here.
Yes. Right.
We've come to an end here. And
We
this-
haven't, Mark, because you start hitting the buttons. No one else does that to you ever.
No, you hit the button because you insist on opening your stupid fucking mouth and talking over everybody when they're trying to talk.
No one
So I'm
talks over
sorry,
you.
I'm not doing this.
No one talks
I'm not-
over
You're
you.
doing
John,
it now.
you're enjoying it. Don't let it
You're
just
doing
let
it
it
now.
Because I actually
You
these
don't
are serious
answer.
questions, Mark. That I want.
But I
want you.
can't answer them because
So
if
answer
I
him.
try and address it, he opens his stupid
I will
gob.
let you answer
Right,
him.
no, this is it.
Oh,
I'm
you
sorry.
won't answer
Our
him
20th may well be our last podcast.
So you
stop.
now won't.
Fucking do
Oh,
it.
go.
No, no,
I'm
no.
right wing and I
Stop,
can't handle
John,
being challenged.
John.
Right.
You're
Right.
such a
down.
fucking
Right.
arsehole
John's
sometimes.
turn.
You really are.
John's turn.
You've got to let somebody talk. And if it's the empty vessel that makes the most fucking noise,
I know
isn't
that.
it?
How about letting John ask a question?
No,
He
I
was-
did.
he was
But
trying
you
to.
started to talk
I'm
over.
out.
And I was-
I'm out. That's the answer
And
to
I was
John.
trying to answer it, and you opened your stupid,
Answer,
inane
John, and-
gob again.
Yeah.
John, question.
So yeah, let's go back to that. So if Kamala Harris lost, I think that she would just accept that
Yes,
she
she
lost.
would. I agree with
right,
you.
and I don't think Donald Trump would.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think we'd have a replay of what happened last time.
So
But
not
but I think the fun, yeah, and I know, and it was an unedifying spectacle. It was completely unedifying. And would I have supported it? No, of course I wouldn't. But he wouldn't be the first one on either side to question the outcome of an election, because when George W. Bush won, there was the Democrats made a huge fuss about problems with the voting machines and the hanging chads and all that sort of stuff. So not the first
But Al
one to do
Gore
it.
did actually accept that he'd
Oh,
lost.
yeah, no, listen.
That's the point.
Don't forget, my fundamental point is I'm no fan of Donald Trump.
Right.
Okay? I've said that repeatedly. Okay, so no, I don't.
So what is
And-
so bad about Kamala Harris that you would actually put her below Donald Trump?
Well, because I think she like a lot of presidents since Ronald Reagan really is a figurehead rather than
Puppet.
being an actual president, and in many ways Donald Trump is as well. You know, the president's influence is relatively limited these days because there are greater forces at work that are choosing the potential candidates and so on and so forth. And what they want is someone who is electable. They don't necessarily, in fact, they don't want somebody who has their own mind and who is powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think Kamala Harris was a poor choice, firstly as vice president for Joe Biden. She disappeared completely off the scene after the election.
She did.
You didn't hear
She did.
anything
I agree.
of her
I agree.
whatsoever.
And sadly, she did.
Because, you know, of the way supposedly, and this is not
Why she was chosen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they had a massive panic when Joe Biden performed so badly at that debate that they had to...
Were you not surprised at actually how well she did? I mean, I know there's a lot of money poured into into the...
I don't think she did that well, and I don't think it was a slam
She's
dunk.
better than was expected.
Listen, she didn't do badly, all right?
Yeah.
And I didn't. And again, I don't. Donald Trump is. I'm no fan of his. Okay, but I think that the leftist agenda is remembering that, you know, the extremes represented by the figureheads of the party will not come to fruition.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's really controlled by
exactly
the House.
Yeah. Exactly. So we've got a polarized positions on both sides, the reality of which is very different. Okay. I mean, the world was going to end when Donald Trump was elected last time. You know, whatever. I just shut up.
Oh, so we're
No,
not allowed to
stop
say
it.
anything.
No,
so hold
not
on.
yet.
Not allowed
We were
to
actually
say
having
anything,
quite a nice
Mark.
conversation there.
Not allowed to say anything,
No,
Mark. So, for
I'm
instance,
just-
abortion didn't change
I
in
was
America.
just getting on to that.
I'm allowed to interject.
Oh, no,
Mark,
you're not.
Or it's
I'm
a
having a
Mark
com-
show,
oh.
right? So you say it didn't change. Abortion did.
I'm not doing it.
Well, then go.
I'm not doing it. If
Then
you-
go, Mark.
Okay, I will go.
If you
but I'm
can't
not-
handle someone saying you
John,
say nothing changed.
we were going to get. We were going to actually get to that.
No. There's a thing here which is only Mark ever walks out. He's the only one who ever does. Which is because the right wing can't justify their positions. Of course. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, well, you did,
Actually,
Mark.
we were actually having a decent conversation.
Yeah,
John.
you did, and
But you-
absolutely.
the
But
trouble-
it was
the trouble with you-
premised on the fact that I couldn't say
Can I just say?
anything.
Do you know why I know why he's so annoyed with you?
Go on.
It's because you have a smirk. You're smirking.
Well, because I've listened for about
No.
35 minutes.
You're
Right,
actually.
carry on.
You
the
know.
parent,
You do
carry
actually
on.
enjoy. I'm listening to you, and I'm learning actually from what you're saying.
Go on,
You've
then.
got to just let him speak without doing the smirk, because the smirk's enough to want him to punch you.
Yeah,
honestly,
fucking
that's
right.
But so just let him be, and then have your opportunity to
Carry on.
provide your.
I'll just sit here.
What I was going to say, okay, is that whether you agree with it or not, Donald Trump was elected in 2016.
Agreed.
Okay. And he was elected on a fairly, fundamentalist ticket. People who were, against abortion and so on and so forth. And the president has the opportunity to appoint judges to the Supreme Court. Okay.
So why did he have 3 in his term, and Biden's had how many? Is it depending on who dies?
I really don't know.
Is it their lifetime, aren't
I
they?
really don't know. I really
allowed-
don't know.
am I allowed to just check one thing?
No,
Okay.
no, you're
No,
not.
I'll stop.
Okay.
I don't want you walking off.
I don't know what dictates the frequency with which judges.
think it's
are
when they
appointed.
die. It's a lifetime.
But democracy says that during the period of time there are on whatever basis any number of chances to appoint Supreme Court judges, and during Donald Trump's presidency he had
3.
and he did it with the support of the electorate that elected him. Okay,
Yeah.
So
And they're all passed through Congress, so they have to do.
yeah, they have to.
They're vetted
absolutely.
and
and
Republican Congress.
anybody.
because they were in. Yeah, but it
Because
might have been
it's
with.
democracy, because it was elected as a Republican Congress. So he gets the chance to do it, and that's what he did. And he did exactly the same thing that the Democrats would have done in the same circumstances. Now, hang
not
on, no,
true.
just a minute. Oh.
Not true. All three of them lied because they all said in their congressional hearings they would follow the precedent of Roe v. Wade. They all said it. Specifically, they would follow precedent Roe v. Wade.
Why did they change their mind then?
Because they're right-wing fundamentalists, and it's been shown by them
just stupid.
throwing the flag upside down
You're just stupid.
and taking bribes, and they're all going to the meetings of the right-wing agenda, which is basically Project 2025. And I know I'm hearing this, but here you are. They all lied in their congressional hearings. They all said specifically they would follow the precedent of Roe v. Wade, and then they overturned it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm out. It's apparently democratic that they can just lie to people and go do it.
Show me the evidence.
Because they said it, which is recorded.
Show
You can get on
me
YouTube.
where it is then. I don't
Go and look on YouTube. They all said it. And Mark, you don't like facts because it doesn't fit the theory. But they all said they would
suspect
respect
there's
the precedent.
many.
They did say that.
So why did
I'm
it?
not making it
Can I
up.
ask a question? Because I literally don't know the answer to this. Why did it actually come up in Supreme Court to actually discuss this again?
Because I can't remember which state it was wanted to change.
So they basically sent it up there
And
for
what
them
they did,
to.
what they didn't do, and this is where I think John makes his mistake, is that the Supreme Court didn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Okay, so insofar as that's concerned, what they may have said in Congress, if you're right, they didn't breach. What they said is that Roe v. Wade does not give you a constitutional right to abortion, and that it's up to each individual state to decide whether when and whether.
So why does Donald Trump keep spouting out at his meetings? I did it. I turned it around. I did Roe v. Wade.
Well, because he appointed the judges that said that he didn't overturn Roe v. Wade.
Well, that's what he's saying.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, but he didn't though.
But he's basically taking.
No, hang on. Well, he may be taking credit for it.
Yeah, I think that's
But
what
as
it
a
is.
matter of law, he didn't
I know
overturn Roe
that,
v. Wade.
but that's what he's actually piggybacking on that, saying,
show me a quote where he's saying,
Okay.
I
He is.
overturned
No, he
Roe v.
does.
Wade. Okay, show
He
me.
says, I got those judges.
Get your phone, find it.
Okay.
Go on, find it.
But let me
find it. Find me the
Will,
quote that
Mark,
says where he
Mark,
says he overturned Roe v.
Before you
Wade.
shout over me, right? Yes, I will. But secondly, in fact, even John's doing it, right? But here's the point. There was a federal, meaning all America law, that if you're a woman who want, and you,
No, there
you've,
wasn't.
you've,
No, what there was.
sorry, Mark, before you stop me.
No,
Before you stop me,
you're wrong.
there was
though.
a federal law, Roe v. Wade, that said if you were in America, you had a right to abortion access, right? He took that away and made it federal, state rights.
Yes.
Right, hang on. So he
No, he
took
didn't.
away.
No, the
so
judges
wait.
found that Roe v. Wade did
So-
not establish
so-
a constitutional right to abortion.
He, by naming 3 conservative judges, all of whom voted for it and changed the balance on the court,
It's
took
called
away-
democracy.
Took away federal rights. Democracy can also include kill all the Jews. One function of democracy. One function
Grow
of
up,
democracy,
fucking
Mark.
idiot.
One function of democracy
You're a
is the
fucking idiot.
minority
You're
are
a child.
protected.
You're a child.
Do you
A
think?
child.
Do you think anyone listening to your argument saying you're a child, is in any way convinced?
I don't care.
By the logic.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
I don't
Mark.
care.
I know you don't.
I don't care because you're stupid.
So what I've just seen there, it's essentially, I'm sure I've heard him say that, but it may be the wording's important. That is, so basically he's taking credit for having it done. Or he's pushing pressure on the Supreme Court. Yeah. This is what I'd like you to do.
But if he's elected on a mandate that says that, I want to take away the constitutional right to abortion, and he's elected, and then he appoints judges that achieve that, where's the problem? I mean, it's called democracy.
Because what if he's elected on a base of killing all Jews? Well, what if he is, Mark? What if he is? Are you saying uncontrolled democracy? Because representational democracy always has to protect the minority.
There is no such thing as right or wrong, but that we make it so.
And do you know what, Mark? What's really interesting is that's the truth. That's what I've been piling into you, and you walk off and you want to stop the debate. Because what I'm trying to get to is that's all you've got. All that's true is what I can force by power, not any moral underpinning, not any truth of it.
No,
You just said
believes it though. That's the point.
he
And
does
so do
believe
his
it.
supporters. So that's if it's gone through
You've said it.
democratically.
It's if I can make a way to make it happen. It doesn't matter what happens.
We may not like it, John, that he's got extra people on the Supreme Court. We may not like it he was president,
Okay.
but the bottom line is he did have the ability to change.
Right, but here's the political and moral distinction. If you believe in representative democracy, right, we don't vote as a plebiscite, which means we'd hang everybody and whatever. Yeah. We elect people who are educated, hopefully, and we respect. No, wait a minute. I'm making this much wider. A representative democracy, by definition, has to have an opposition, right? It does.
Right.
We elect these people, and there's more of them than you, so we win.
Yeah.
But by... Sorry.
No, I've just turned it.
It's
the microphone.
But by
You thought he'd done that.
Hang on. But by definition, we have to have an opposition for the people who voted for the people who disagree with me, right? And it's really interesting. I read this. It wasn't obvious to me. A representative democracy has to inherently protect the rights of everybody, including the losers. Right. So if we go right-wing, the right-wing get to do a lot of what they want to do, right? They do. Well, conservative government enacts...
That doesn't happen with the left?
No, both ways. Sorry,
exactly.
No, it's not exactly, because...
Exactly.
Why don't you hear whether you've got anything to oppose for a minute?
That's good coming from you.
Right. So, in a representative democracy...
Christ.
When you're ready...
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You're the first one to leap in, okay, with your inane comments when I'm trying to say something. Your one-dimensional thinking on politics, okay? Someone who doesn't even read the bloody papers. Someone who has no idea beyond what's fed to him. You don't think beyond the end of your own nose, do you, really?
So
should we try and guess the whiskey?
No. So we'll do the mystery whiskey next because we're not drunk enough. So the representative.
Well, listen. All right. Okay. What you're saying is that basically, then there should be a law that says that those who voted Democrat should be allowed to have abortions, and those that didn't. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If he was elected on, if he was elected on a ticket that says that that we want to make the right to abortion
illegal.
Did he say that? Did he actually say that in the 2020 election? Did he say we're going to turn it if we win?
I don't know what the declared position, but it was undoubtedly an anti-abortion.
But
ticket.
Are you supportive of him with that agenda?
Of what?
Oh, no, I know where you're going with this. Don't.
No, I'm just asking.
Of what?
No, this is what
we
you did.
know who he is.
I've heard
you know
this.
what he supports.
I heard this in another podcast.
You
Don't
heard
go
me
down
answer
that.
this question before.
Don't, John.
You heard me answer this question before.
And your answer is no, but I support him anyway. Your answer is I don't support restrictions on abortion.
What he's saying is that given the choice between Harris and Trump...
Oh, he'll go Trump.
Right, but that's his choice, right?
Yeah.
It is his choice, and he has the right to make a choice, but he can be held accountable for that choice. Because what it means is he's supporting someone who will restrict a woman's right to abortion, and he goes, yes, I will. And I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowd to say openly that's what he'll do.
Well, he's looking at Trump as a whole, and he's thinking,
Yes.
well, actually, this will benefit the economy. Probably he'll sort out the borders, maybe, all of those things.
But it means when he turns to the women in his life, and they ask him why he's restricting, by his vote,
I'm not going to choose my candidate on the basis of one issue only.
Even if it affects every woman in your life. Every woman in your life.
If, like the majority of the American electorate in 2016, even if. Okay?
So you will. You will
Yes.
restrict women's right to abortion.
Well,
Look, I've already told you.
He's looking at the whole package, John.
Exactly.
And no, my point is, if you elect someone on the basis of the whole package,
All right, yeah, I get your
you
point.
accept the individual bit.
Yes, fucking yes.
Do you think it's right to turn around to women and say, I'm going to restrict your right to abortion because of these other issues?
I don't make that decision. The electorate makes the decision.
You're
My
one of
vote
them.
will be one of them.
I think that will depend on exactly what they're saying they can and can't do.
But they don't tell
And
the
there
truth.
is restrictions. Now in England, there's restrictions.
There are, but what they and also what the Democrats
24
are
weeks,
arguing
right?
but what the Democrats in America are arguing is up to term abortion.
And that's been utterly discredited.
No, it
in fact,
hasn't.
in
It
fact,
really
the moderators.
bloody hasn't.
In fact, the moderators,
Well,
when
it's
Trump
like
said
John-
it, corrected them and said it is untrue. It's a right-wing
I don't
myth.
want to even talk to you anymore about this because you can't.
Is that not only when
what the moderators
there's
said.
it's a mother versus child scenario?
No, the moderators said there is no state in America ever that has suggested abortion up to term, right? It's a complete made-up right-wing myth, right? Trump said it, and the moderators on CNN went, there is no state in America
and
that
they
does
didn't
it. Hold on, and you've just repeated it.
Listen. There are plenty in the Democratic Party that are campaigning for that. Okay, plenty.
But you can't name them or produce any evidence. But you just stated...
You just open your mouth and shit falls out.
What's
don't you?
interesting? What's
Guys,
interesting?
here now.
What's
Come on.
interesting is
Right,
you
and
just
this
said it as a
whiskey,
fact.
whiskey,
Mystery whiskey, because there's not enough alcohol at this table, and we blame it all on John. It's never normally this drunk.
I do remember one where you got a bit feisty.
Yeah.
It turns out it's this one too. We haven't been like this in ages.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
No, I think John, you'll find it was you because you're winding him up, and you are.
It's really fucking difficult, isn't it?
No, you just don't give him a chance, and it's going to trigger Mark, right?
No, it's just ask him to explain his views.
But when
And his views are,
listen,
he believes in
shut the
abortion.
fuck up. Okay. Now I'm going to play. Okay.
Should we go three while we still can?
Well, we can. Yeah, we will. Well, I'll play this. We'll have the whiskey, and then we'll have John's third song. I have to say that last song was bloody beautiful.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I'll let you play this.
Okay, right. So this is one of my AI songs. This is a country ballad. This is the one I mentioned earlier. This is the one about this is the cowboys sing.
Yeah.
You know, married, children, the baby died, and just a song about the child that they lost. Okay, and it's called. And this is entirely from my prompt. This is what it came up. The title is "Echoes of Her Lullaby."
We good. I cannot find the whiskey.
It was over there, wasn't it, in the corner?
No, I know, but I got
I'm not getting any sound out of this.
You're right. Mark.
Hang on. It's not playing for some reason. Ooh. Why is it not playing?
So,
So I can cut this. I can.
on the video, what do you show while you're listening to the music?
Just us.
Us hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out. No, why isn't this playing? I know, because I turned the volume down the last time. Right, so this.
Okay.
This is. Okay, so right. So John, I'd like to listen to this because I think this is a cracker. And it when I
You got it.
This is one of two
I've got time
songs.
for another whiff. I can't
Yeah,
believe it's the
no,
second
go
one.
ahead.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
wait.
Is that okay?
Oh, believe
Go
me.
ahead.
I'm not ignoring you. Right, go on. Are we still good?
No,
Really?
fuck off.
Seriously?
Seriously,
Not performative
not
then?
performative.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. There's rules, and the only rule, by the way, is this rule. Seriously.
You still
Give
have.
me a hand. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. It's the only
You're
rule.
still a fucking idiot. But you're my idiot.
Yeah. And you're a Nazi cunt. Right? Okay. We're done.
I see you'd be friends with a Nazi then.
No, I am. Which, believe me, I found really weird. Anyway, he's a bit shocked because we've kicked harder than normal.
We kicked probably harder than we've ever kicked.
No. Actually, no. Because I think it is performative in the sense, but I don't know about you.
It wasn't performative on my point.
Well, then get a fucking grip. Right? Because for me,
No,
it was,
no,
for me it was-
you
wait,
need to get a grip.
We have a
because
discussion.
you know.
Mark, we discuss this after this, right?
Yes.
Because we will do that, and it's fine. But we have a guest, as in, and I know I've kicked. Don't worry, I'm not
You don't kick though.
But we
no,
no,
I mean,
no,
I
no,
could. I
stop
would.
that. We do that afterwards. Right now, we land this thing.
Yeah. Okay. But I'll be fine if you actually kick, but you don't actually kick. You just.
Right. So what are we doing? Are you
Anyway,
AIing or what are you doing?
So
now?
this is the song about the.
It's your fucking fault. We've discussed it. And we all agree.
It's not been like this for a long time.
Until you committed the
causation doesn't always
abortion
make.
questions. Yeah.
I
Thanks,
can
I
have
love the way you play me,
I can
John.
have a
It was down
civilized,
to your behaviour.
civilized correspondent.
Cool.
Anyway, so this is the song. This is the AI song that I wrote. The prompt was
Sorry, say that again.
the AI song that I wrote. The prompt.
Okay,
I
thank you.
wrote the prompt.
Got someone else to write.
I wrote the prompt.
You did write the prompt.
I did write the prompt, and I refined the prompt until I got sort of nearer what I want, and then it was then I chose the generation. Okay, but it's a country ballad, and it's about it's a guy singing about his family. So he's married, they've got 2 kids, and they had a baby that died, and it's about the child that they lost.
Can I just check? Is this the same family? Is this your family? The
Summers
band
family.
you
No,
created?
it's not based upon their
Southside
backstory.
Is it that band that are singing?
Yes,
Okay, so
Is the Summers band?
it's a Summers family. Yeah.
Oh, so
It's a Summers family song. Yeah.
We sit in the quiet darkness, her crib still standing strong. Echoes of a lullaby, life without her feels so wrong. The brother's got her grin, sister holds her spirit tight. In the tears of late night whispers, she lives in candlelight. Little angel, never far. In our hearts, she's our guiding star. Through the pain, the love will flow. She's with us, we'll let it show. Rocking chairs without her weight. Empty rooms that silence breaks. Every breath we dream her face. In her memory find our grace. Brother learns to play her song. Sister paints her dreams. Family picture incomplete. She's in every scene. Little angel, never far. In our hearts, she's our guiding star. Through the pain, the love will flow. She's with us, we'll let it show.
Yeah, very well. It's very clever. The thing that really shows to me that it's just not quite real. It's the inability of AI to produce a really good chorus. I mean, it's okay, but it feels like there's a verse and then there's a bridge, and I'm waiting for the big kick-ass hooky chorus.
And is it a little bit 75% of what it should be? Is there that feeling that it should?
Yeah, there's a
home?
detail in. There's a sort of synth-based thing which doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, now let me again. That's Suno, which will produce you a full song, but the sound quality is not as good as Udio.
So the funk thing you played earlier on, I literally couldn't fault.
That's Udio.
I could not
That's
fault
Udio.
that.
But it's definitely not as good. But their work.
But as I said, half the time when I was in California last May, there's stuff like that on the radio all the time.
Yeah, it's everything. Let's say the top 10%, everything under that, it's indistinct.
It's close though, Mark. It's really close. It's just not quite strong
what I
enough
thought-
chorus.
What I thought was
If I was the
amazing-
A&R guy, I go,
I get
okay,
it.
just go back, write a
But-
decent chorus, and you're there.
What I
But
thought
as
was
someone
amazing
with
was-
your skill, right, you could take that.
I could
Oh,
write
and
a
write a
chorus.
new song.
100%.
Absolutely, and
Because you're 70% there. It's very catchy,
yeah.
it's beautiful, it's simple, typically country chords.
Yeah.
The vocals are amazing.
Yeah.
I love that style of singing anyway.
Yeah.
I can't do it because it's kind of high. It just needs...
Yeah. I
It
get
needs the chorus. I can almost hear it. I can almost
this,
take
this
that now.
is why I then, with the EDM and stuff, which is really what I like doing, why I then want to be able to then to have the means to make it what I want.
Yeah.
To take that raw material.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you could turn that.
I could
into
literally write you a chorus now
You could
because
do
I can
the
hear
whole
it. I can hear
Didn't
it.
you think some of the lyrical twists were really good? The
Yeah, no,
lyrics
there's
are so clever.
Yeah,
There
I
are
mean, there's some fantastic.
Those
Typical
bits where you
guitarist,
went,
I will listen to the music first
and
not really analyse the lyrics, but the lyrics...
I
Some
listen
of the
to
lyrics are
lyrics
really good.
I think I listen to lyrics more because that's my natural start point.
Okay.
If I'm writing a song, I normally write the thing that's got me into it, the feel, and then I write the lyrics that tell the story. That's generally what I do.
No, I did
When
this.
I listen to those lyrics, and obviously I want to hate them. I kind of want to go, oh, they're not good. And I catch these lyrical flourishes. I just go, they're as good as anything.
Yeah. And there was this one country song about, and the basically the story of the prompt was that this is a guy who wants to break up with his girlfriend and is struggling to do so, but then she comes and breaks up with him.
The silence that's broken or something.
No, it was
The silence in
she
the
breaks
place.
up with him and he
No,
pretends.
sorry. I'm talking about this song. Sorry, I'm just trying to do
Oh,
a different
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
In this song, the idea, there's a room, right? The silence that's broken, the fact there's nothing in the room is what's broken.
Yeah.
If I could write a line, if I could write a line, sorry, I remembered it listening to it.
This other song
the
is
silence that's broken.
Yeah, the one I was talking about is it's a kind of upbeat, like I pretended to be broken-hearted, but I didn't want to and all that. Anyway, it says one of the lines was, "She used to mean everything to me, but now she's just a minor in my melody."
Oh, come on. It's almost too cliche, but it really works. But the thing is, Mark, can you imagine even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, the ability to write a song of that quality? It just wasn't there.
Well, it's made me want to learn the bass.
I think it's fantastic that you've got a vehicle to do that. Because you don't play the guitar, and so how else are you going to do it? Unless you sit with me and you say, "This is what I want to say," and whatever.
Right.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
I think it is.
It is. I mean,
But what's interesting I would use this if I got stuck for a song. I had this really strong lyric. I just couldn't think of something to do. I might put that in.
You could
dare
put the
I say it,
lyric
and then
in
go
and
okay, and then I'll play it live,
of
and then I'll
course.
tweak it, put a decent chorus on it, and then you're away.
Of course, and that's where I just sort of been thinking about the fundamental nature of AI, and I've used it in my work. It's a bit of a shortcut, just as kind of if I'm going over an area of law that I haven't looked at for a while. I've tried going into AI with a prompt and saying, look, just give me a quick, couple
summary
of
of that particular element of law.
and I know where to go. So there was a point I was looking at the other day, which was, almost so trite, but my solicitor didn't believe it, and I was trying to find authority, but you can't find authority for something that's so bloody obvious, And I went to AI, and I just give me a quick couple of paragraphs on this, and then just tell me where I can look for an authoritative. And it did it, in exactly.
And would you use that in the court of law?
I wouldn't use it, no, because I would not use anything that had generated without checking it out. But
no,
if
but
I
you
wanted
would
to
use it to go and find the thing and read it yourself and go, yes, it is accurate.
Exactly. Because if you try and trawl through some of the books, trying to find the passage you want, can take bloody hours.
And that can do it in 20 seconds.
Yeah, and that can do it in 20 seconds.
What it can do is point you to read the right stuff. And you go, they've got it wrong, or you go, no, they got it absolutely right. I
gave a seminar to me and another barrister gave a seminar to a bunch of solicitors, dealing with road accidents and the sort of issues that arise out of that. And what we were doing was presenting like a scenario which raised a number of points of law, presenting it at the beginning of the seminar. Then we had various experts, a neurologist, we had an lower leg orthopedic surgeon, we had an accident reconstruction expert who were giving lectures and so on, dealing with some of the issues raised. Then we had a discussion period afterwards. And although I didn't use it, I went to ChatGPT and I said, look, I said, what I'm doing, I'm giving a seminar to solicitors dealing with points of law arising of road accidents. Give me a sort of a presentation based upon this scenario, and then enumerate the points of law that it raises. And there it was.
And how accurate was it?
It was spot on. It was absolutely
as good
spot
as
on.
you'd have done with your research.
It was absolutely spot on. It wasn't quite what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I did do it myself.
No,
I didn't actually did it myself. But
is it perfectly suited to law because those are finite issues? People think
that the law is finite because it's codfied.
Yeah.
Okay. Most law is not codified. Most law is not in statutes. Most of it's judge made, based on precedent
and logical argument,
and very much depends on the facts of each individual case.
Yeah.
Okay. So law is unsuited to making the decisions. It's suited to helping your research, but it's unsuited to making a decision at the end of the day.
Right. I mean, I imagine they're using it in medicine too.
Oh, diagnostically, in terms of diagnosis, it outperforms clinicians every time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Cancer identification from cells.
Yeah.
ECG recognition, all those little faults.
Yeah,
it'll do it every time.
Smears, absolutely. Yeah. It'll give you every possible permutation.
Because human beings are very badly adapted to spotting small things over 8 hours of a shift.
But there will be in medicine anyway, there will be elements where it's actually just a sense that you've got from experience, which I don't think AI will be able to do. So my old man he's passed on now, but he was a GP. He would be able to read someone just by looking at them.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether AI would be able to do that.
He would get it right.
He'd get a sense from experience.
As I do with my clients.
Yeah.
But statistically, he would perform so well if you actually measured it against outcomes, right? And that's good. That's good. It's the point where AI just goes, well, I'm 15% better than that.
It'll give you your choices.
I'll never get it wrong where he'd have got it right, but it means that give me 100 patients, 15% more accurate.
I do clinical negligence.
Terrifying.
I do clinical negligence work, and the number of times that diagnoses are missed, differential diagnoses are missed, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, where I would say the problem was that he can only base it on what information you put into the program,
and his experience.
So the experience from him would be what he's presenting to me as a patient isn't actually all that's going on. And his recognition of body language would be actually there's an anxiety behind here. What's really going on?
Yeah, no.
And that's where his skill will come in. I don't think AI can do that.
Version 4.
not
Whatever
yet.
version 1 is, can't do it.
But when you've
By
got
version 2 and 3,
when
they
you've got
can't
the
do it.
AI
By
bot
version 4,
that's
they
got
can.
its camera pointing at you, and
it's
or a
reading your
screen
body
with a
language.
camera which has a plausible face that's engaging you on a very human level.
I haven't
and
had
talking
risky.
to you.
I haven't had risky sex, but I've got these symptoms, and then the AI goes. The AI goes.
But also, I mean, but
I would always
all
touch,
those,
is what I do.
you know, the vast database of misdiagnosis and so on and so forth. You know, in any given situation will be fed into this. It says we think it's this, but it may be this, and you need to do this to exclude it. That's what it'll come out with.
Right, next song.
No,
So John.
no.
We need to do don't we do the...
Don't you think we should have
No,
a
whiskey.
last song from John and then the mystery whiskey?
No, because it's about drinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
You
That's
will regret
decided
this. Right,
That's
I'll
not
go
at
get
all.
the glasses. Swap seats.
I can't believe I bought the extra bottle of wine and it turns out to be 0%.
Did you read that?
It's the last one in the fridge.
Oh, right,
And it happens to be 0%.
Honestly.
Cheers.
What kind of podcast do you think this is?
Well, I hope I haven't actually sort of pushed you to it.
I think you've emboldened him. That's what I think you did.
He's got someone to...
emboldened him. Yes, yeah. I think he saw fellow Musi and Muso and someone on the left side. You just
swap.
John.
Oh, didn't know you'd done that. Cool.
I think you you know.
Please don't ask me to actually identify anything, because I've literally no idea about whiskey. So.
None of us will have.
No, you.
Hang
are
on a
gonna
minute. I need to do.
No, wait till we're in.
Okay.
I believe the mystery whiskey is on your right hand side.
Okay.
On the floor, black bag.
Oh. Right. So hang on a minute. We need to.
Wait till we're ready. Right, when you're ready. And louder than that.
For the mystery whiskey.
Only on one side, by the way. It's not stereo.
It must be.
I don't know why.
Hang on. Let's try this one then.
Oh, it could be me. I'm only on one.
I think it is time for the alcohol of unknown provenance.
Is that you?
Yes.
Doing what?
Doing this. Hang on.
Yeah, but it's not you doing the stereo.
I think it is time for
I've
the
got a bad
alcohol
connection.
of unknown provenance.
Right. Such cliche French.
Yes. Exactly.
So the mystery whiskey. The mystery
The alcohol
whiskey.
of mystery.
Am I levels?
It's
Can I just say to the
Doesn't
listeners,
sound
No,
right.
it's your headphones.
I've listened to all of these podcasts, and I've always wondered how this actually goes down. But I can see there's a little, a black bag,
Yes.
a little bit like sort of landscape membrane, I would say, hiding the said whiskey.
It is a genuine mystery whiskey. Nobody knows.
I have no idea what it is. Can you hear okay now?
I can hear in one ear, but it's fine for what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's your adapter or something. I don't know. I'm not looking.
We're so not professional. Right.
I've just seen the label.
Well, then you have to pretend not to.
I'm kidding.
But Mark doesn't know.
I don't know. Not professional.
it's genuine.
by not professional, you mean unprofessional.
Can you not do that?
I will do that because
Such a
I-
child.
Touching your leg again.
No, he's throwing
Right.
bits of
Bits of foil. Right. Okay, Mystery whiskey.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm friends with him because he really is a dick.
He is. Have you only just realised that?
This is even worse. I've known it for so long.
Do you know what? I'm the best you can find.
I'm going to do
No.
I'm going to do a pastiche of what you normally go. Wow, look at that!
What's it like being on?
It's
hang on.
kind of dark and
Yeah. Hang on.
Hang on, it's
Before
quite
you
dark.
go
Hang
there,
on.
what's it like being on the inside for a show?
Oh, a joy. I mean, I many.
You have to tighten that
Can you
nut
not
up.
do that?
Can you give his nut a twist?
Don't encourage him.
I don't know how to sign
Honestly,
it.
that's so incompetent. Other way.
It must be that way.
It's that way.
For fuck's sake.
I thought you were an engineer and a scientist.
Oh Jesus!
Come on. Oh, shit. Just fuck off. It is the other way.
Well, just no.
Hang on.
Other way.
Just sort it out.
Just look, turn the arm.
Just
that's
hold
right.
it.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Right.
having listened to, I think pretty well
Many
all
of
of
them,
no, most of them, I would say, and enjoyed them mostly in the bath after work. I don't know why. It seems to be good.
Naked in the bath.
Well, generally, I am naked in the bath, John.
do you fiddle with yourself while
John,
you're listening?
No, I
shut
don't
up
actually.
and let the man talk.
I tend to go to sleep when you're talking, but no. I thoroughly enjoy your podcast. Being in the middle of it, it's actually no different. I feel, and a good listener will feel like they're there anyway. And I just happen to be lucky enough to be there today. But that's what you should continue to do, to make people who's listening feel like they're there, and you're doing that job. For
Good.
Sure.
Good.
Although when I'm in the bath, I don't have a hot hand on my leg.
Or as John would say, a hand on your hot leg.
A hand on your heart. Anyway,
Good.
cheers.
Right,
So the
so,
mystery
cheers.
whiskey of
Okay,
tonight.
nose first.
Right, nose first. Well, colour, isn't it? Colour first.
Well, it's a deep.
it's deeper,
deep,
isn't it,
rich,
than normal?
I think it is a whiskey.
Definitely a whiskey.
Definitely a whiskey.
Oh, you're so wise.
Well, no, because you
That's my way
hang
of
on a
saying
minute.
yes.
Hang on a minute. What
Yes.
What
Tastes a
did
bit like famous old grouse.
John thought Greek brandy was whiskey a few weeks ago.
John has absolutely no.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't.
So yes, it is a whiskey. I think that's what we should do. So, are we talking peaty or honey?
I'm not really getting either.
I-
I'm saying blend.
Well, what are you saying?
It's a
First
blend.
of all, it's not a blend, so I think
Okay.
we should help. It's not a blend.
No, it's clearly-
peaty
I
or
love that.
honey.
It's clearly,
clearly
not,
not
a
a
blend.
That's cool. Peaty or honey?
Well, it's
would
not
you say
peaty.
No, I wouldn't
Would
say
you
it's
say
peaty.
peaty?
It's not
No.
peaty.
Right. So if it's not peaty and the scale is peaty to honey, can we agree on honey?
Middle.
Yes, middle, slightly to honey.
I'm with you because I know the answer. So it's a honey whiskey.
No,
It is a honey
It's a
whiskey.
marginal honey whiskey.
No, it's not flavoured. I just mean within the range of normal whiskey. It's
actually
honey
quite nice.
whiskey.
That's
So
quite nice.
which honey whiskey might it be? And there is something unusual about it. It does have a slight flavour in it.
Has it got a little bit of bourbon in it?
Oh my God, you're a genius.
Yes, it's
It
bourbon,
has
isn't it?
got a bit of bourbon.
Yeah, I should have known by the colour,
It's a whiskey that we know.
Yeah.
It's a honey whiskey, but it has a touch of bourbon in it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, no, I can taste the bourbon.
Way better than we can do normally.
I don't know, something aged in bourbon casks then.
Yes, that's right.
No way.
But it is. No, it's really cool. That was
No,
a
no,
cool
I can
call.
definitely taste bourbon in that.
Right. So they can't see it because I'm getting it out. So given it is aged in bourbon casks, exactly right. Which whiskey is it? Single malt.
How the fuck should I know?
Just
I
name,
don't give a fuck. Let's just
name
drink
the
it.
honey whiskies, you know.
I
That's
don't
my
know
phone.
honey. I don't recognise honey whiskey
Right. I
as
think-
a category.
It is. No, I think there's peaty on one end, which I love. The Ardbergers, the real peaty ones that taste like drinking dirt. This is a honey whiskey, and it's a Jura.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay.
We've had a Jura before.
Oh, so obvious.
No, it isn't.
We've had a lot of whiskies.
Yeah,
It's
listen,
our 1 year
but-
anniversary.
You're
month.
telling me that the Scots get bourbon barrels?
It's
ages.
it's a Jura whiskey, which is a honey whiskey,
Right.
and this is a bourbon cask version of it.
Made in where?
I'm gonna go Scotland with bourbon casks.
Why would they import bourbon?
No, because
they're trying to create
bourbon is
flavours.
aged. Bourbon American whiskies are aged in raw oak,
Okay.
and once they've aged them,
They then sell them on.
Well, what they do is they sell the staves. They don't sell the actual casks. So they sell the staves, and the staves are rebuilt into casks, into barrels. Which then, and they do it with sherry casks and all
So
sorts
some of
shit.
that flavour you're saying will then get into.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's the wood. I mean, all they do is put raw
So
spirit.
here's the
All they do is put raw spirit in a barrel and age it, and that's what whiskey is.
So
There's
what we
nothing
ha-
special
what we
goes
haven't
in
said
there.
The
about
colour, how much of the colour comes from the barrel?
All of it.
Yeah, it's I think
All of
right.
it.
But here's the question, which is different. What do we think? Do we like it?
I do. I quite like that.
Shite. No, it's
Is
nice.
it Lefwin Camilla
Listen,
shine?
I don't give a fuck. I'll drink it.
No, seriously.
No,
Let's,
it's fine.
let's have
No,
a moment.
Jura's
Would
nice.
we recommend this to people to go and buy it? So Jura bourbon
It wouldn't be
whiskey.
top of my list for recommendations.
What would be?
Well, the various we've had a couple of Tamnavulins, and I thought Tamnavulins were good. They were good.
Well, it's,
How old is this?
Ooh, that was close. Right, let's have a look. I'm sure it's not aged at all that they're selling, but it may be. No, it's not. They're not selling it as aged. So I suspect they're using the bourbon element to take the age down.
well, they put that as a major selling point there. Look, bourbon cask.
They're not even. I mean, this is the new development, isn't it, of segmenting the market? You know, do you want to buy the bourbon cask or the this cask? Because it obviously takes them a lot of money to turn around and go, this 12-year-old juror or the 10-year-old.
No, it's
I think
pleasant.
I
It's
think
not-
it's
I
I
wouldn't
think it's
probably buy
pleasant.
this, but
It's
No,
pleasant, but it's,
it wouldn't be my first recommendation.
to me it's a bit
I'm happy to
obvious.
drink
Is that the right way of saying obvious? Like you taste it and you
It's a
go,
bit-
oh, it is what it
yeah,
is,
it's a
but
bit-
it's like bangs you straight away.
Yeah.
Coming from someone that the only whiskey I ever drank was my dad's, being a GP. He used to get bottles of whiskey every year. It was almost always famous old grouse.
No,
And I had to be pretty
Or
desperate to
bells.
drink that. Yeah, it's like pretty.
And
he
yet
never
as a-
touched it.
and yet as a teenager you were that desperate.
Yeah, until my father then decided that he was going to bring a chippy in and build some sort of barrier to stop me and my friends getting into his whiskey.
Why?
I've got my first alcohol-related story. Now, I reckon this was about 1965, maybe 67, because I know where I was at the time, and we moved, and then we moved back. But anyway, my grandmother in the sideboard. Anyone remember what a sideboard is?
I do. Yeah.
Had a bottle of Mathieu's Rosé,
Oh God.
which had been there for fuck knows how long.
That's wrong.
It was
in
like,
all
you know,
ways.
every now and then a small glass like sherry was, and I don't know what attracted me to this, but
How old were you at this point?
I was either 5 or 7, depending on what time I was.
And we do know what attracted him to it, but we don't talk about it.
Anyway, so I thought, they seemed to like it. I thought, and I tasted it. I thought, this is all right. So I got tiddly.
Did you?
On a small glass. And I remember my grandmother, who was blind, you know, she must have been giggling or something. So she said, "Come here." And she pulled me to her and said,
You smelt your breath.
"It smelled my breath." And she slapped me round the face.
really?
Yes.
God, I love your grandmother. Love her.
The sideboard, because my grandmother had a sideboard. It was one with a sort of the lid came up and then the thing came out.
Yeah.
She always used to have Harvey's Bristol Cream, which is a great one for young drinkers.
Yep, yeah.
You know, between the
Sweet,
age of 5
yeah.
and 10, it's perfect for like
Yeah.
having a sample. She started us quite early. She used to claim that it was to do with the enzymes. It's good that you start early.
It's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
There's a general discussion, isn't there, about do we think people should drink early and controlled, i.e. 5, 7, 12?
What
Do
about
we
5?
think
5's a little
whatever,
early.
no, but the French would do it, you know, with a little bit of wine watered
At
down.
5?
I don't know, but
Jean-Claude,
but- no, but my
come and
point
drink
is,
this.
do we
It will
think,
be good for
do we
you.
think the
Claudette.
best approach to alcohol?
Et toi, Claudette aussi. Bois ça.
You did that same course I did, right?
Oh, the fucking middle class public school boys kick off again, as they always do.
Parle-toi français?
Do we think?
Non.
Do
je
we
pense.
think that introducing children to alcohol
trop-
early helps them cope with it, or do we think we should hold it back and only give them it in adult?
I think it helps them cope
Where
with
do
it.
we think?
I think it helps them cope with it, but there will always be the odd wild card who will go, ooh, and then, you know.
But is it better than restricting and letting them loose at 18?
Agreed. I think so.
More
Because if you give a child, if you restrict them and say this is not for you until you're 16, they're going to try
of course
it.
they are.
So if you say,
But the fact it's age related at all gives it that frisson. We all had it, you know, drinking at 16, spirits at 18, you know, when you could get in the bar and do it. I'm just interested. Do we think it will always have that forbidden fruit? Because unless you're going to give 2-year-olds alcohol, you don't. So you have a forbidden fruit. It's a part of aging and attractive because of that. So the question is, do you say you can't have it till 18 at all, which is some countries, or do you have countries that go have some
you
at
can't
12
buy
and
alcohol.
10?
If you don't say you can't have it, they say you can't buy it.
Yeah, but you can get it. It's
Well,
part of the age
but
thing,
it's up
isn't
to
it?
it's a matter of parental choice. Or it always has been until
'Cause they're
until the
fucking
lefties
bright.
want to interfere and to
Yeah,
dictate
because
everything.
parents are so fucking bright as a
but
group.
it's still a matter of choice. You can't have the state interfering.
The way I look at it, from my experience, I used to go to America every summer because my mum lived over there, and I would be shipped off there for the whole summer. Terrible.
Fantastic.
Go to California, how dreadful that was.
on a dark desert highway. I've already done
There's
that
no
one.
alcohol.
Cool wind in my hair. Well, I didn't have hair.
Did
on
you
those
have
days.
hair then?
I did. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. But what was interesting is that the kids of my age could not drink.
No.
I'd say, oh, let's get a bottle of wine. Let's do
Which
a
you
few
would have
shots.
done back home.
I was already drinking. I was drinking at 15, 16, going in those days. It wasn't, carding. It was like, are you going to behave?
The
You're not gonna be a tit.
local off license that so long as you wouldn't cause shit, you were okay.
So the Fighting Cocks, John, my stepbrother, and I used to go in there at 15.
So
And
long as
we'd
you
sit
didn't fuck
quietly
about.
with a
Yeah.
vodka and orange or a half pint of mild.
Yeah.
And as long as we weren't tits.
So
they
what's
were-
your perspective on the debate then?
So the point-
John, you have to sometimes let people talk without interjecting.
Do you mean like you
Because-
just
so my
did?
point
No,
was...
because I didn't, because John
He's-
was talking and
No,
you then
he
started
was
to
speaking until you interjected, yeah.
My point was that the American kids of my age had not had the same experience.
Yeah.
And when they did get a bottle of wine, they'd go silly, get silly, and they wouldn't know how to do it properly and just like get a nice buzz without getting silly or sick or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think that was down to the fact that we were able to go in and be responsible and have a drink and just be with the adults earlier with them. California's been 21 for a long time.
Yeah. Well,
21. I mean, so they go to war, they can go to
So
university,
they
but
go
they can't
crazy
drink.
at 19.
I worked for a summer in Nova Scotia when I was 16. I was in Canada for a year, but then I got a job on a farm in Nova Scotia. And it was easier for the kids to get dope than alcohol,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that difficult to get alcohol, but you could certainly get loads of
But
that was my introduction to it. It never really did anything for me.
Can we do this one, which is, I'm not sure what age you hit it, whether it's 19 to 21 or whether it's 15 to 17. There is a natural progression with any drug, I mean, particularly in this case, alcohol, where you get... Excuse me. You're going to get it. I know. We've been on all night. But
I thought he was going to be sick.
I know.
Quad erat demonstratum.
Right. But you're gonna get it wrong.
John understood that.
I know. I get it. Oh, because I'm a lawyer. I don't know QED or scientist. Right. So
It's offensive.
QED. That's why we did it all the time. But
Did you go to grammar school, John?
yeah, I did. But it turned into a comprehensive 1 year after I got there. Unlike your Swans and
Was
Chorister
that
lifestyle.
your influence?
But back to, I think it's interesting. I think your contact with alcohol, whether you're 19 or 15, the Americans push it later. We do it earlier, and the French do it earlier. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
We all get pissed. We all go too far. Our parents bollock us because we went too far. And we pull the line in.
Yeah.
This is what everyone who doesn't become an alcoholic does. Everyone kind of goes, shit, I don't want to be in
I
that
think
kind of
siblings
trouble.
are actually quite important with this.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you got older siblings?
They teach
Younger
you.
sibling. Yeah.
You got younger. So I have two older sisters. So my first real time I drunk excessively.
Too much.
Was probably I was about 12, and my dad had remarried, and we'd road just around the corner here, and they went off on their holiday, and basically my sisters were in charge. And we stayed up, and I blame them for quite a lot of this actually, because I was drinking
They led you
Shinzano
astray.
Bianco.
Like you would.
hell.
Like you
Because
would.
it's sweet, right?
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
It's
easy.
very alcoholic, and they were playing Dark Side of the Moon. They were playing Moonflower by Santana, and I was in heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and I drank way too much.
Okay.
But it's interesting that
And
was
got properly drunk.
yes, but I wasn't sick, and they knew when to stop me, and
no,
it was
Let me ask you this question, both of you. Would you say overall alcohol in your life has been a positive or a negative?
Positive.
Positive, 100%.
Without no any
100%. 100%.
Because I've been lucky enough to be able to control it and never had a problem with it.
Exactly, and for me, it's always been a social lubricant. It
Yeah.
helped me overcome,
100%.
my reserve, my shyness, any social anxieties they may cause call it these days. When I was younger, I don't
You know this is a long podcast, and we all heard you about an hour ago.
you know what I mean. But for me, it's been a positive thing.
I would
And
agree.
you're
Hang on,
lucky.
we
You're
all
lucky
agree.
because some people.
No,
I know,
I don't
know.
think you're lucky. Sorry, I'll only take a point with that. All three of us just went positive without question, right? And my daughter is an alcoholic who's had to recover 7 years clean. I mean, a really big deal to pull a life together. So when you say lucky, what I'm saying is almost everybody, by that definition, is lucky. 90% of the population drink alcohol and find it positive, I think. There is a very real percentage who find it a terrible problem, and it really, really fucks
It
their
works
life.
a little bit too well.
Fucks their life unless they can come back. And there's lots of psychological and lots of reasons. So I just find it interesting. The debate is interesting. That's why there's so much support, because almost all of us find it really positive.
Yeah.
We do.
It's
we,
so
we
interesting.
see
I
the
don't-
downside, but we don't go there.
Really positive. I was positive.
So I found quite in the last few years, quite interestingly, that life, whatever, work, relationships have got to a point, and I thought, right, I need a night out, and weirdly, it'll reboot me. It's so strange.
completely.
And I might have a little hangover, but I never get so bad.
You
I know
saw me-
when to stop.
Yeah.
But it does reboot
But
me.
you
It's like-
saw me at the last open mic, the very last open mic we were at,
right.
and I needed a drink. I really
Yeah,
didn't
you-
want to fuck about. I didn't want to play. I just wanted a drink with my mates.
Yeah.
And the next day I was really good.
Yeah.
But we're a lot older, which is part of the podcast. We're a lot.
Well, you're a
older.
little bit older than me.
Not that much. You just look it. But we're.
I think
we're a
I'm
lot,
the granddaddy here.
Yeah, you're really not. I'm older than you, aren't I?
you're not.
You really
No, you're
are
not.
fucking
No,
older.
you're way older, aren't you?
I'm 64.
God,
64.
that's really old.
Doesn't it show?
58.
Right.
You're just
61.
a child. A child.
A
He's
child.
the baby.
I just think it's interesting. Our relationship with alcohol is very real. It's very important because it is something we've got to control. We don't lose control of it. Almost everybody finds it positive, which is why the culture finds it positive.
The British Empire was built on rum.
The British Empire is basically built on murdering,
built on rum, jocks and
raping black
paddies.
people, but we won't go into that. No, I think it's very interesting because that's what I mean. We get into real conversations. We instantly, all of us went positive. And that doesn't negate the fact there's negative in there. It's just that an awful lot of
So
people.
can I'll
90%
use an
of people find it
example here.
positive.
So, and I'm not going to mention his name, but I have a very, very close friend who's I played music with. For,
What's his name?
Very
What's his
funny.
name? Go
I'm
on.
not going to tell you.
Go on. Give
I'm
me
not
the
gonna tell you.
first letter.
Shut up.
Just the
John,
first.
just let him talk.
Just the
let
first
it
letter.
go.
John,
You've
shut
been
up.
told several times this evening.
God.
So this particular friend, and he'll know if he's listening, he'll know who it is. When we play a gig, he often stays at my house overnight, and part of the tradition is that we'll have probably 2 bottles of wine, and we'll have an hour and a half, 2 hours debrief from the gig and catch up. And with him, he just completely lets go of. He's kind of inhibited. Beep. If you're listening,
shit.
I know.
That was remarkably shit.
All right, okay. He won't mind. He knows exactly what I'm saying. But the point is, we have that moment, but it does enough. It does enough to just let him speak and be relaxed enough to just open up a little bit, and it's wonderful. Yeah. And it's we wake up and we might have a little bit of a hangover. It's nothing much, but it's enough to have that little bonding moment.
Yeah, good. Good. At that point, I think we should have
The last song. Let's go.
John, and a very pertinent point for a song about alcohol.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Let me take you up. Sounds very quiet in the camera. Just does.
Oh, hang on. There we go. There we go. We're turned up now. Ooh.
Gosh, that's very noisy.
It's very noisy.
Gosh, John.
Look, I'll turn it down until we're ready. We want that.
Which
we
one
want
is
on
the-
that one.
which-
That one. No, the lower one.
Which is the vocal, John?
Oh,
Well,
so that's the vocal.
that's the vocal. Yeah, we've been singing to that one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Jesus, I'm not going to employ you as
As anything.
Mark, he's put the vocal mic right by the. Yeah, can you get off my
John-
nipples, please, John?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
You're good.
So, a quick background to this one. It's a song for $52. A friend of mine, Martin Johnson, approached me maybe 3 years ago with pretty well a full album of he called dark country lyrics.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
He's not a guitarist. He can sing a little bit. He had no idea what to do with these lyrics, and he said, "Look, do what you can." And maybe 3 or 4 of the album that he gave me, I wrote songs too. So these are all Martin Johnson's. Bless you, my friend. He's living in Oakland, in California now. He gave me the lyrics, and then I wrote this little tune to it.
Oakland, California. Sorry, we're very attuned to new listeners in far off places.
Got $52 in a jar by the sink. I've got me a bottle, but I'm on the brink of collapsing into a salty mile. Well, I would prefer a bringing big a fire. Fine, have a seat, and we'll drink to the sun. We'll drink to the moon, and then we'll be done. Do you even care? That's what you said to me. It hurts so much that I'm drinking to be free. Don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why you're here. Take your money and just go. I'm about to shed a tear. I had $52 in the box by the bed. I got me a bottle 'cause I wanna feel dead. I'm collapsing into my own hell. I lost everything, there's nothing left to sell. Don't know what you're doing, and I don't know why you're here. Take your money and just go. I'm about to shed a tear. I got $52 in a jar by the sink. I got me a bottle and I'm on the brink of collapsing into a salty mile. Well, I would prefer a burning ring of fire. Yeah.
Woo! Blues King. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic.
Wow.
Yes, wow. Wow. There we go. Well, listen, as someone who's been in the bubble of AI music since June, really, when my son pointed out, says, have you heard this?
Right.
And it's refreshing. It's refreshing and encouraging to hear
Real music.
real and original music. Yeah, it is. And,
Real. What do you mean real? Okay.
Okay.
It's nice
yeah.
to hear it live. I think that's the point. There's a difference with live music, 100%.
I think there is, and as still so far as I'm concerned, you could. I think I mentioned earlier that there's some songs that I've been listening to. I think could AI have written that? And the answer is maybe yes, but I still think there's a qualitative difference. But I still think the AI stuff is like really fucking.
I don't know if there's a qualitative difference. All I can say is, what a fucking great blues
great.
song. I mean,
It's a great blues
and
song,
given
isn't it?
blues has been around ever, and everyone's
I've got some
written it.
good blues songs.
No,
Of course he has.
but
He's going to
your-
blow me out of the water.
Whiskey and Tears. You should hear that one. You should hear
your
Whiskey and
Your
Tears.
friend who wrote that.
Yeah,
and you
he's a genius.
performing it.
Yeah. He's
It's
got
a
this whole.
perfect blues song. It just is. You're just there falling in
What,
the
what was
rhythm.
lovely about that, Mark, was that he literally he said, "Look, I've got these lyrics. I don't know what to do
Yeah.
with them. What can you do with any of
you did
these?"
it.
And there's about 4 or 5 songs on that album that he basically said.
He's a lyricist.
No, but he said that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And weirdly, when you've got a set of lyrics, you can the
Almost
melody
feel.
almost comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly the rhythm of the.
Interesting. I've been doing an online course in remixing, and
Uh-oh.
no, not that. Although I have got decks.
Of course you have.
No, but
You're
in terms
another
of-
one with more gear than an idea, right?
Yeah. Well, completely. Listen, I've never let the lack of gear get in the way of the idea. Yeah, I know. But no, in a sort of I don't know, EDM music producers, call what basically you would call writing songs mixing.
Yeah.
Because they would, bring all that sort of stuff together. So I've been doing a course, but really because I wanted to learn about how to manipulate this, the stems from the AI music to turn it into something I want to. But basically, they interestingly always start with what they call the a cappella, which is the vocal. So you can take if one approach they use is to take the vocal from a well-known song and build an alternative chord structure around it, based upon the key in which it starts with.
It's so I was talking about Amy, one of the girls I work with, and she will send me this thing, and it's so interesting. I could go so many different ways from the melody.
Yeah.
So it's the choice that you then.
And I was surprised that's where they started, but I can see the reason why now.
Can I ask you? She sings a melody, so
Yeah.
she literally has it in her head.
I could get them up now, and
but as I understand melody, you instantly identify pretty much what the key is with the odd note that's wrong, and you go, well, that's wrong as in out of key.
if
And
she's
you go,
doing it
"That's
off the cuff,
melody."
then it could be right in between notes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of tricky. But go on.
But you start with what you decide is the key.
Yeah.
Right. And you do it, and then you hit the ones that don't quite fit in, and you understand if she's substituting or she's not.
No.
Well, no, that's what I'm asking you. How do you do it?
No. So the melody will be if I can pitch. If I know what the key is that
And
she's
you
singing.
stay in it.
Yeah. Then she doesn't vary. She's
You
not.
put chords under that.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
yeah.
doesn't know she's in the key. She's just singing what sounds right
Right.
in the reality.
That's true. But
Right.
so.
And you go, oh, it's F sharp or it's C or it's whatever.
But there's
it
so
is.
many chords that you can substitute
around that.
within
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
It's going to be your choice how
Yeah.
it works. And the groove. I mean, there's this element with the vocal that you'll get the groove.
Yeah.
But you could be. You're going to be one of those things. Excuse me. That's me telling me I've got to go to bed. So, shut up.
Mark, John, I
Yes.
sent you that text. It's time to go to bed.
Thank you. But there are loads of different rhythms within that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's,
And different
there's
notes.
so much you can build around a vocal.
Yeah.
Is
for
what
sure.
I found fascinating.
But she came up with the vocal as a completely creative sound in her head.
She just hears it, and then I might come back with an idea, and she go, "No, that's not what I was thinking," and then I'll try again, and then
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's Jane.
Why can't we have professionals? Why can't we? We're professionals.
It's Jane. It's your missus.
No, it's your. She isn't calling me because I turned my phone
Right.
off.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that now. I was going to say something. Interestingly, the AI music,
Yeah.
it does not respect beat structures, and it does not respect...
do you set? I want it in 6/8. I want it in 4/4.
You can do, and it may give it to you,
Yeah.
but it may not. It's,
Can you actually specify?
some of the stuff I've had to put into another program called DJ Studio, which will then fit it to a beat grid.
DJ Studio.
You should hear some of my. You should hear. Hang on, I'm going to give you a bit of one of my club bangers here. Hang on.
Dear. Well, what's wonderful is if the AI he's using doesn't, it will in 6 months. You know what I mean?
No, not that one.
That's the point. That's what's been horrific.
We're in a loop, waiting like girls in pavement. Right on line, through the wheels, what a wrestling. Lifts in the ocean, get you out, glass at one. Then can days in this power zone.
Imagine in version 7 when you go, I want a bit more.
Yeah,
drop
the point
there.
is that actually Mark can do this.
I can.
He
I can
take
do that
this
now.
as an idea,
But
and then that
Mark
needs more of a
can
drop,
do
and I'll
what
do
was
that.
impossible 3 years ago.
Really?
No one could have done this 3 years ago. No one could have produced a song like that 3 years ago without having spent enough time.
Jesus, I need another wee. Is that all right?
Yeah, do. And I'm going to play you about 30 seconds of this one, which is even better than that last one.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
everyone. That's
Yeah.
a
Can I
terrible
go
week
and pee
bladder.
with him?
Yeah, go pee
No,
with him.
John. I'm sorry. You're banned.
Right. How we?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
No, we're going to do a snippet, and then we're
How
going to
long
sign
are
off.
How long?
Oh, we're well into it.
Yeah.
We're at nearly 3 hours.
You're in that edit.
But no, but there will be bits to cut
I
out.
don't mind. You'll cut them out.
Let me just check this. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. This is even better. This is a real club banger.
Just.
Fucking twat. I'm saying that in the same way that Claire says to me when she said when
Don't
we've
get
had an
upset.
argument we've made up, and she goes,
Yeah,
"Twat, but I love
get
you."
it. I get it. No, the thing is, I'm all right. We have done performative very well. This was further with someone, but it's all right. It's what it is. We're okay. It was not one of our best, though.
No, it
No, it's
wasn't.
all right. Hang on, we both know. Land the fucking ship.
Yeah, I'm going to play a bit of this. And
Has he played his third song?
yes, he just did.
Good. Just. Let's
He's
land the ship.
really he's really good. He's really good.
It's outrageous. If you listen to those 3 songs,
No,
would
he's
any
really
one of
good.
them be not ones you would
He's
listen to?
really,
And
really,
we've got it on our work.
really good. We're going to do more of this. We need to get more
Well, I need to get my shit
musos in.
together as
You need
well.
to get your shit together. Saying we need you. Listen, it's been an absolute revelation
Yeah.
having you here, John.
I loved it. You guys are amazing.
It's been great.
Honestly, let me put my.
We
hands
need-
up.
we need to
I
do more
have
of
to
this.
say, you guys, it's been a pleasure, and it's so exciting that people I know are doing this stuff.
Yeah, we need to. We just do it for whoever wants. Whoever's stupid enough to listen. But the thing is,
have you got? Is your readership, listenership actually? Is it improving?
No,
or?
what's actually happened, and this is because we're not commercial in that way, right? What's happened?
Get the mic closer to you.
Oh no. What's happened is we've got the people who like us, and by the way, John and Tina in particular.
Mate, this is my ex-wife, Tina.
Yeah, but still current friend.
Insofar as and I've got 2 of them. Insofar as an ex-wife can be a friend.
No, she really can. She is amazing. She's
And
an
no,
amazing woman.
I've
I'm very lucky
they're
to have
all
her, but-
amazing, especially when I look at my male mates who've got them, because I've only got the ones who love me.
Whatever. Anyway,
she and I have listened to you and really enjoyed it. Because
And
we
you've
knew
also
it's
given
always-
us feedback when you like what we've done and when you're not as sure. And it's really good. And
I mean,
by
I
the
do.
way,
If I'm
genuine.
honest with you, I do love the combativeness of it. I love that. I mean, tonight was probably a little bit.
It was probably as bad as it ever got.
You've had another one like
I've
that.
told him he's a dick, but he's not my dick.
You see what I mean?
But you've had one of these before.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I mean, that's why.
If we're keeping it real, and I mean, it's really interesting you hear, because it wasn't deliberate. Obviously, it was going to be much more gentle. And we don't like it. We don't actually like it.
No, it's not pleasant when we do it. I want to punch his fucking nuts out.
John.
No,
You do
no, actually not true. Not true.
But he is sneery.
No,
He's
He
sneery and
is,
simplistic.
and he has that grin on
He
his
has
face that
that
you want to wipe off.
stupid
I have a
fucking
grin on my
that I want
face
to
because I think he's ignorant.
smash
No, I
off
got
his
it.
face.
Do you remember them at school, right, Mark? It's this, well, there's always someone you want to punch,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, of course
Yeah,
there is
he's-
when
he's
you're at
it.
public school and you understand that's the rules. For the rest of us who just go, you're just being
What, you mean there was
immoral
no
and
violence at state schools?
No. What there is that's different here, and I think it's quite interesting, is if you're brought up in a public school loyalty complex, you see things in the lens you have. And the rest of us kind of go, well, you're just wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong to
What
subdue.
the fuck is he talking about? He
is
has
that all
no
about?
idea. He can't,
Which is
Right.
exactly
Now,
what
can I
public
play you
school
the-
people
Please
say.
do. I don't believe there's any difference, actually.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
there
there's
is.
any
There
difference.
really is.
No, there
I
really is.
wouldn't
No,
see so many
disagree.
injured public school people that I hang out with if it wasn't
Injured?
different.
I think the two most rational people around this table are the two that went to bloody
Which is
public
precisely
school.
the injury I'm talking
Anyway,
about.
I'm going to play a quick bit of this because I'd like to know what John thinks of it. This is my proper most
Is this
recent
the last song?
club banger, and then we're gonna
Are we
say,
on 5
We're
or
gonna say our
7?
goodbyes and our outros, but I'm going to play a bit of this.
Chase under blacklit skies, bodies interlace, feeling boundless in this thick of space. Circles lost in the sound. Eyes closed, bodies all around. Thoughts of the night never fade. Music's the Lord, and it's escapade.
I wonder if anyone has actually done that yet. Used AI generated for electronic, for dance music. Because it's got all the.
It's got
listen, it's
everything.
not rocket science.
Yeah,
Right, and
No,
that
no,
stuff.
it isn't, and it's very formulaic.
It is.
But
And
when
the
you're
people
there
doing
on the
it
dance floor
formulate.
Yeah.
and it's all hot and sweaty, the
Yeah.
lights are flashing, it really this is what I've always loved. For me, I mean, I've never really been a clubber, but for me, it's always been exercise music. When I've been cycling or running
Yeah.
that's where it's got me, and
And the drop.
it appeals to something fundamental. Those rhythms, especially somewhere between 120, 130
Yeah.
BPM, seems to be the sweet spot.
That's probably more like 130.
But isn't
Yeah,
the,
yeah, that's
but isn't
128,
Isn't
that
the
is it. Oh,
fundamental?
yeah, it's not far off.
Do you know the fundamental on beat is your heart rate? Right?
Yeah.
Your heart rate.
Fetal
It's
heart rate is.
Is your heart rate 120?
No,
Well, it
I hope
depends
not.
on what you're doing.
If you're resting, your resting heart
Resting
rate
is between 60 and
90.
70.
Right.
Should
so
be.
basically, anything that hits your heart rate.
You know I used to be a nurse, don't you?
No, tell me.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So what's your heart rate range? So resting.
Resting.
70, 80?
If you're
Depends how fit
asleep,
you are.
if you're asleep and you're fit, I mean, you can go down to 55, 50
Right, but
even.
the normal
but
person-
normal would be around 65,
70,
70, something like
Right,
that.
70.
Resting.
So
proper
70
resting.
for your ballad fits in with just being relaxed and
Yeah.
doing it. What's your energized? You're doing fitness routine.
I mean, that could go up to. It can be 140, 150.
Right, so
I
that
used to get
fits in
mine up
with-
to when I was
I
in
mean,
my
you can get
cycling heyday at my early 40s. I'd get up to 175.
Yeah.
Right, but that
Yeah,
fits
but you
into
wouldn't-
160.
I mean, that's
That's
beyond-
sprinting. That's
Yeah, it
sprinting.
is.
Yeah,
It's
but-
really beyond.
but it fits
There is a
into
there's a sweet spot.
150,
So disco was
160.
almost always around between 115 and 120.
There you go.
But that sort of music went up to 130,
But
140.
you can't do that
yeah.
for half an hour. That's like
Well, unless you're taking, MDMA or
well,
whatever.
exactly,
That's
right,
yeah.
right. And the point is, this is what's so interesting about music: is it's a science.
And
You
that's
can kinda
ironically
you can kinda
140
go-
is resting fetal heart rate.
What does that mean?
Babies. So babies within
We'll be
utero.
at 140.
140.
So
Oh
that's
no,
your
but they're not
first rhythm.
babies.
You're saying
Oh,
that's
but
your
they're not.
first
But they're
rhythm.
not babies, apparently.
Right. But you're saying that's your first rhythm. Is that right?
No, what I'm saying is that it's almost primeval. It's yeah. So 140 is kind of an important
It's one of those rhythms that defines us as human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are now at our longest ever at 3 hours and 2 minutes. In which case, I think it's probably right that we play our gentle outro music to soothe
It's been a
soothe
long
soothe the
fucking
fractious members.
Cheers, boys.
Anyway,
That
in
was
case-
most
in case-
enjoyable.
You caused it.
Oh, I love it. I'm
We've
very
never
glad.
had one so fractious.
No,
until you
no.
came
I've
along.
as I said to John without an H while you were out that I think you felt emboldened by his presence because you thought you had an ally, but actually John was the other voice of rationality here
you
tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't know.
now we've had our second guest, John, which I've massively enjoyed, and I have to say, I'm so reassured. My faith in human music has been utterly restored by his absolutely wonderful performance
Thank
this
you
evening.
very
I thought
much.
the songs are brilliant. I thought his performance was brilliant. I think he sings great.
We're on
and
side. I didn't feel- Oh, come on,
I'm not
Mark.
finished. No, give me a
Give
second.
some
Give me a
space.
second. Give me a second. And I think we need to do more. And I think when John with an H has his studio upstairs, we're going to have a little dedicated area where people, musicians can
be
play,
very lovely.
and we need to do more of this.
And there are
because-
lots of quality local
well,
musicians.
The crack in Brum.
is the Brum crack,
Yeah.
and we want to do that. And I think we genuinely want to bring people into that space and do something new. Like really broadcast.
Yeah, but we've been doing it a year now. We've been kind of feeling our way, and I think this is we have. And
No, I
think,
agree, so
I
I
think
wasn't
bringing
complaining.
people in and going out, doing some live recording at venues and so on, incorporating it in the podcast. I think it's the way to go. But I've loved it tonight. I've loved it, and
My pleasure.
it's been
Thank you, Mark,
real,
for having
real
me.
fucking pleasure.
Lovely to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you persevered with us for the 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 52 seconds as I
Wow,
speak,
that's basically nearly
well
4
done,
hours.
and thank you, and I hope you'll join us again next time. Good night.
Good night.